Sox players and fans are looking forward to the second half after having completed a pretty successful first half. The youngsters are getting some valuable experience playing in pressure situations a lot sooner than anyone expected. It's a rebuilding situation for Tony La Russa and his Cardinals, who are trying to reach the playoffs for the first time since 1996. Tonight is Jamie Navarro against the Cards. Big Mac attack next on WGN. We are coming to you from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri, where tonight WGN Sports is proud to present Chicago White Sox baseball. It's a big hurt. Frank Thomas and the White Sox is there, hosted by Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Busch Stadium. With Tom Patroik, I'm Ken Harrell, since we get set to bring you game 2 of this 3-game set. And let's get right to the big play. Bottom of the 9th inning last night. 2 on, 1 out. Willie McGee at the plate. The ground ball hit to Craig Wilson, and watch this. Now, first base umpire pointing down. We thought that he had called Frank's foot off the bag, which that is not the normal call. Usually they'll take both hands and brush him to the side like the first baseman's foot came off the bag. And I asked Frank Thomas, what did he say to you? He said, the ball hit the dirt. The ball hit the dirt. Wimpy, in my entire baseball career, 36 years in the American League, minor leagues, the whole bit, I have never heard an umpire say that.
I have never heard that either, Hawk, and it's really a shame because the Sox went on losing the ball game. They had to play almost an hour and a half later, losing the ball game in the bottom of the 13th inning, plus the fact they lost Frank Thomas for the remainder of the ball game, and everybody had been used up by the time that game was completed. But that was yesterday, and tonight Jamie Navarro is going to have to bounce back after 3 consecutive losses, and he's going after a pitcher, too, for the Cardinals, Juan Acevedo, who has very good stuff like Navarro, but he hasn't won since June 1st.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. We'll try to forget about that one last night. We'll be back with the rest of the starting lineups right after this.
I'm visiting with Sox manager Jerry Manuel. And Jerry, did you get a chance to see a replay of the controversial play in the 9th inning?
Yes, I did. I took a look at it today, matter of fact, and I couldn't understand what angle the guy, saw and what was going on in his mind and how he missed it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was truly a great setback. The Sox went on, played 13 innings, and wound up losing in the bottom of the 13th. And how about Mike Soroka? You ever seen a guy more snake bit than him this year?
Well, he's really had some tough luck so far this year, but I think things are going to turn around for him. The one thing Mike continues to do is he continues to put us in a position to be competitive and win a ball game, and he did the same thing again last night. I think, though, too, that these games make him a better pitcher because he has to execute so many pitches consistently, or he could lose a ball game.
How about the relief pitching? You got to be happy with the way those guys took the rubber last night also.
Yeah, those guys came in and did a tremendous job. Brian Ward came in with the bases loaded and a good hit in Ray Langford, and was able to get the strikeout. And that's exactly what we needed at that point, was a strikeout, and he was able to get us. Our relief pitching has been huge for us.
Well, looking ahead to tonight's ball game, you've got Jamie Navarro on the mound against Juan Acevedo. Now, what about Jamie and how he's progressing as a member of the starting rotation?
Well, Jamie is doing real well. I think the thing that Jamie has to constantly do is he has to make sure that he stays in the right arm slot. I think he has had so much success this year with his arm slot a little lower than sometimes what he's comfortable with, and I think it has made a great deal of difference for him, and I think it has not become an habitual thing for him, so therefore you see some inconsistencies in him in times out.
How about I know Nardi Contreras and you have been focusing too about his changing speeds on his pitches. Can I kind of get that differential more off his fastball, slider, and splitter?
Well, I think he's doing a good job in that, but I think it's the arm slot that's the key for him. I think if he stays in the right arm slot, he can be real nasty on some powerful right-handed hitters. So you like to see him stay in that slot, even though at times I think it's something that's a little uncomfortable for him, and it puts a little bit more strain on him than he's normally used to.
Who do you got in the bullpen tonight?
Well, we should have everybody. We didn't exhaust the bullpen. I think maybe Sean Lowe, might have pitched, had the most total pitches, but everybody should be ready to go tonight. I mean, it was good to get everybody in the game and get some innings under their belt right after the All-Star break, and they should be ready to go tonight.
Jerry, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll be back with the starting lineups right after this. Stadium in beautiful St. Louis, Missouri. There you see the gateway to the west. Giant arch right over here by the ballpark at Busch. We've got a great crowd on hand and a nice night. A little humid, a little warm, but it could be a lot worse in St. Louis, one of the hotter spots in the country during the summertime. Well, the Sox trying to rebound from that tough 13-inning loss yesterday, 3-2, are sending Jamie Navarro to the mound against Juan Acevedo. As we mentioned in the opening, Acevedo has not won a ball game since June 1st, and Jamie is on a 3-game losing streak himself. So hopefully the Sox will be able to turn things around against the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. A couple of shakeups in the Cardinal lineup, and they've made a move. They have sent Placido Polanco down to the minor leagues and reactivated pitcher Heathcliff Slocum, the Hawkeroos' favorite name, prior to today's ball game. And there is Mark McGwire. Mark hit his 486th career homer last night off Mike Sorotka. He got a low fastball and just hammered it into the seats in left center field. So McGwire so far in the season has 29 homers, 73 runs batted in. His average is down a bit from last year. 266 is his average on the season. Boy, he put on some kind of show in batting practice. He went out of left center field up in the top deck over the Southwest Airlines sign. And that's almost impossible to reach. So the Cardinals take the field for game 2 of this 3-game series. And here is Jerry Manuel starting lineup for the Sox. Sox are 42 and 44 on the season. They are still in second place in the American League Central. Leading off at second base, Ray Durham. Batting second in center field, Chris Singleton. Frank Thomas is at first base. He'll hit third. Cleanup man, right fielder, all-star Maglio Ordonez. Carlos Lee plays left. He'll hit fifth, followed by the catcher, Brooke Fordyce. Craig Wilson gets a start at third base tonight. He'll hit the 7th spot. Batting 8th at shortstop, Liu Rodriguez. And pitching and batting 9th for the Sox, Jamie Navarro. Here's a look at the Cardinals on defense. Ray Langford is in left field. J.D. Drew plays center with Darren Bragg getting the start in right. Fernando Tatis returns to third base. It's Edgar Renteria at shortstop. David Howard is at second, and Big Mac, Mark McGwire, plays first. Alberto Castillo, who has gunned down 54% of the base stealers this year, is behind the plate. He got 2 Sox runners last night, so he's a pretty good defensive whiz behind the plate. And Juan Acevedo is on the mound. 4-3 on the season. 6.16 is his earned run average in 11 starts. Acevedo, hard thrower. He's a big guy too. 6'2", 228-pounder. 83 hits in 73 innings. He's given up 12 homers, 38 walks, and 39 strikeouts. That's a surprising number because he really has a good fastball. But he hasn't been overpowering a whole lot of people yet this season. The umpires are good friends in blue. Paul Nauert is at home plate. Brian Gorman at first. Eric Gregg, the svelte one, at second. And Jerry Crawford is the third base umpire. So the Sox now are 7-6 in interleague play this season. There's Mike Sorotka. Well, I'll tell you what, if he didn't have any bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all. Mike, last night, no decision, 7 quality innings, 1 run, 6 hits. He didn't walk anybody, and he had 5 strikeouts. I'll tell you, he had great command. I'll tell you what, Jerry Crawford did an excellent job behind the plate yesterday. He called the inside strike, he called the high strike, and didn't give anything outside. So it was a well-played game last night. There's a look at Jerry. Fine umpire from the National League. So we are just about ready for action. Here's the Hawkeroo.
All right, Wimpy, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri for game 2 of this 3-game set. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Ray Durham stands in against Juan Acevedo. Ray at 299, 9 homers. He's driven in 38. There's a shot down into the corner. Fair ball. Jumped all over it, so Durham will mosey on into second with his 22nd 2-bagger.
Good start. You know, they've got the mile per hour here in the foul territory down the left field line. They had that fastball at 109 miles an hour, Huck. I think that was a little bit off. And Ray just goes down and gets this one about knee-high inside, keeps it fair. And that's the key. Ball hooking, but fair, clearly fair. So a good start. Chris Singleton's job is to get him to third.
Well, Ray led off last night's ball game with a base hit, and Chris took it out of here for a 2-run homer. And that was all the Sox could put on the board in 13 innings. There's a high breaking pitch. Singleton hitting at .318, 8 homers. He's driven in 41. And he was 2 for 6 last night. Here at Busch Stadium, 330 down the lines, 372 in the gaps, 402 straightaway center field. You got Fernando Tatis, and on the grass at third, McGwire just about even with the bags. That ball gets away from Alberto Castillo, so Durham into third.
Well, that ball may have sailed on Castillo right here. Almost hit Singleton as well. Well, Chris has moved off the plate a few inches since the start of the season. Had he been in his original spot, that may have hit him.
So 2-0 the count. Sox come in hitting at .282 as a team, 4.74 ERA. Sox are 1 game over on the road at 20-19 as there's a chopper foul over by the Cardinal dugout. And the count 2-1. Last night, 40,258 in attendance. They're expecting 3 huge crowds last night, tonight, and tomorrow. One of those quirks in the schedule. Sox will leave after tomorrow night's game and then have a day game on Sunday in Milwaukee. As there's a chopper, here comes Durham. 2-hopper David Howard's got him. So Durham scores and the Sox take a quick 1-0 lead. RBI number 42 for Singleton.
So Chris Singleton continues to do the job. All he needed was hit the ball up the middle someplace, and he gets himself an RBI, and the Sox get on the board first again.
Here's Big Frank. There's a fastball roped into center field for a base hit. So Big Frank came in hitting at .322 to go along with those 12 homers and 57 driven in. Acevedo has a good arm. We have seen him before. The one thing he's going to have to do, though, if he's going to help this Cardinal ball club out, because they have had mucho injuries, especially in that pitching staff. And you lose Alan Bennis and a couple other guys, Matt Morris. As that ball hit deep into left field by Ordonez.
Go.
Langford back at the fence, jumps. You can put it on the board. Yes! 2-run blast by Mags Ordonez, and it's a quick 3-0 Sox lead.
I think they forgot about that tough loss last night. You know, that was a key to get off to a good start tonight, because you know what the change in momentum happens. The Sox looked like they had that game in hand last night with Soroka pitching so brilliantly, but all of a sudden it was taken away from them, and it was important to reestablish the Mo. They got it going right now. There's a hanging breaking ball, and Max kills this one, belt high, and it's out of here.
Number 19, he now has driven in 70. Langford just kept drifting back. And here's Carlos Lee. That pitch taken inside. Carlos at .297. 4 homers. He's driven in 36. But we mentioned the Cardinals. When you lose Matt Morris, Donovan Osborne, Alan Bennis, they're really counting on Acevedo and Kent Merker to try to stabilize things. That guy we saw last night, Jose Jimenez, really like him.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers don't jump out at you, but he has got a good arm and he moves everything around. Tatis in foul ground makes the call, has the ball, and that's out number 2. And right now with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click this evening. Phil Moore, Skip Ellison and the crew going with Brook Fordyce, Wimpy, and Bubba the Hawk. Mike going with Chris Singleton, All the guys down at Southern Dunes, the Sparrow, the Ryan, and myself, we're going to go with Ray Durham. There's a fastball strike. Brooke Fordyce hitting at 308, 5 homers. He's driven in 24. There's Jose Jimenez on the left. Darren Oliver, the left-hander. Eric Davis on the DL. 0-2 the count to Fordyce. Acevedo in his career has won 19 times. He has lost 13 times. Bites that one off. Souvenir right side. Well, a sea of red, as always, here at Busch Stadium. They love their Cardinals. Maybe the best baseball town in the country, according to players and pundits.
I'll tell you what, it's amazing, isn't it? Everybody in this town knows who you are. You know, you walk down the street, I'm constantly signing autographs. I can't even believe that.
You are?
Yeah. People from Dodger days.
There's a base hit. That's in the left center field. Langford gets over to it. Fordyce strips just a little bit. He's going to give it a shot. He's going to get there with a double. That's his 14th two-bagger.
Well, Brooke Fordyce continues to fill the ballpark full of line drives. Coming in at 308, he's got that average over 310 now. He got a fastball down pretty much middle of the plate, and he just smokes this one in the gap. Brooke with that nice short compact swing, and right there he loses his footing, and Ray Langford, excellent left fielder, not able to nail him.
Here's the third baseman, Craig Wilson, the 256, a couple of homers. He's driven in 9. Fouls that fastball away. Craig 0 for 4 last night. Well, Craig at third base for Greg Norton. Craig had a couple errors last evening. Jerry Manuel says something's got to be done, so he's going to play Wilson at third for a while, see what happens. I don't think there's any question. We talked about it earlier in the season, Wimpy. It's gotten to be something that unfortunately it's a mental thing now with Greg.
It really is.
And when it gets to that point, the best thing you can do for him and the club is let him sit out. Try to regroup, get his thoughts together.
Well,
because it's been affecting him at the plate as well. There's no question about it.
Absolutely. Those things have gone hand in hand. You know, there is that little mechanical move that he has, you know, with the chicken wing throwing arm, and he's really has had problems with that. And it really has transferred itself to his offense, too. You know, you look at his numbers with runners in scoring position have got to be the lowest in the league.
Well, if he had 18 or 20 home runs and 50 or 60 RBIs, you might be able to live with some of those mistakes defensively. But again, it looks like it's just getting a little worse, and that's why that Jerry Manuel, in my opinion, is making a correct move. Let him settle down. Let him settle down, try to get back, work hard, and get that thing straightened out. There's a breaking ball strike.
Well, you got to have confidence when you're at the plate and on the field, and that apparently is not the case with Greg. You know, and he's, you know, maybe he's trying to overcompensate with effort, extra effort. You really don't know what's going through his mind. But this game gets to be very tough when you're in that type of a rut.
And we all been there.
Oh yeah.
Jams him with a high breaking pitch. David Howard calling off McGwire, makes the catch. Sox do some damage. Come up with 4 hits. A single, a couple of doubles, and a 2-run homer. And after a half inning of play, it's a good guys 3 and the Cardinals coming up.
Nothing good, guys. Bottom of the first inning, and here's Tony La Russa's starting lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals this evening. The Cardinals 1 game under the 500 mark, 3rd in the Central of the National League. Leading off in center field, J.D. Drew. Batting second at shortstop, Edgar Renteria. This guy can really play. Mark McGwire, we all know him at first base. He'll hit 3rd. Cleanup man is left fielder Ray Langford. Fernando Tatis plays 3rd, hits 5th, followed by the right fielder Darren Bragg. Alberto Castillo is behind the plate in the 7th spot. Hitting 8th at second base, David Howard. And bringing up the rear and pitching, Juan Acevedo. Here are the White Sox on defense. Lee, Singleton, and Ordonez are the outfielders. Wilson, Rodriguez, Durham, and Thomas in the infield. Brooke Fordyce behind the plate with Jamie Navarro on the hill. Here's Jamie's numbers, 6-8 with a 5.31 ERA in 17 starts. He has given up 110 hits in 95 innings, 15 homers, 39 walks, and 47 strikeouts. So Navarro, let's get off to a good start, get a 1-2-3 inning career. He is 1-2 with a 4.87 earned run average against St. Louis.
Center fielder J.D. Drew will lead it off. Drew hitting at .235 homers. He's driven in 15, 2 for 6 last night. A little broken bat single and to left, and then he hit a ringing double down in the right field corner. There's a shot right back through the middle. Oh, the 23-year-old Seminole out of Florida State leads it off. And here's another 23-year-old, the shortstop, Edgar Renteria. Hitting at .301, 5 homers. He's driven in 40. Edgar 2 for 5 last evening. And he has faced Navarro 12 times in his career. He has 4 hits. Outfield around to the right. As first pitch strike. And Jerry Manuel in the interview, if you've been with us all the way, talking about the arm slot, the arm angle of Jamie Navarro. And he's much more effective when he drops it down a little bit. When he gets a little too high, he loses movement, he loses velocity. Boy, he had 3 starts in a row when they changed his arm angle, as there's a foul tip right off the end of the bat. And he looked as good as we have ever seen him, even when he was with the Brewers. And he was a solid starter.
Yeah, he was overpowering with the fastball, plus he took something off of his breaking stuff too. Well, you'd love to see him do that every time, because Jamie, I mean, he goes out there every 5th day and never have an injury problem with him.
Breaking ball down low. J.D. Drew at first is 1 for 1 in stolen bases. That's your prototype leadoff hitter. That's Jam City right there. Out of play right side.
Well, Renteria is a good-looking young player. As Hawk mentioned, just 23 years old. He's got that average at .301, and he's got a great right opposite field stroke. He's got that Gary Sheffield kind of wrap. It really does look like you can cut it inside on him. Boy, anything out over the plate, he looks like he's going to hit it real hard.
There's a chopper back through the middle. And a throw to first.
Yes.
They don't get him. Leo Rodriguez going for it. Nobody was there to cover at second. They had a force on Drew. So there's a... Leo's not going to get that ball.
No.
He's got to get to the bag.
Like he was out.
Let's don't even get into that again. Boy, that play last night was unbelievable.
Yeah, I thought he had him by a half a stride right there.
I thought he had him on the play before the replay. Meanwhile, 2 on, nobody out, and here's Mark McGwire. High and deep in left field. Carlos Lee back at the fence. Got ourselves a 3-3 tie. Number 30 for McGwire. He now has 76 RBIs.
Well, it looks to me like the Cardinals are going up there, look for first pitch over the plate, basically a fastball going to Hackett. Saw that with J.D. Drew on the first pitch Jamie offered. Same thing right there for Mark McGwire, the 3-run homer. Wow, that is .487 in his major league career.
Ray Langford takes upstairs. Langford hitting at .318, 12 homers. He's driven in 37. Two and 0 the count. Just a high, towering pop-up for McGwire, and with his unbelievable strength, just powers it out of here. Normal human being hits that ball, and it's probably right in front of the track.
Oh, yeah. That was 390, the estimated distance on that pop-up. I tell you what, Hawk, all he's got to do, as strong as he is just make contact out in front of home plate, and he's got a real good chance for a homer.
Well, you don't hit 70 home runs and all of them tape measures. As breaking pitch, and Langford will grab some bench for out number 1. So here's the third baseman, Fernando Tatis. At 290, 18 homers, driven in 59. A 3-3 tie here in the bottom of the first inning. Fastball upstairs. Well, you know, you talk about the arm angles we just mentioned a few seconds ago. Another thing that Jamie, I think, was doing a little bit more, if they'll check those films out, is he had closed up his landing and was throwing across his body a little bit more, which was giving him more movement, as Tatis can't get it. It's one thing to drop down a little bit. You're going to do that, you're better off landing just a shade close across your body, and that will create some tailing action. That ball hit into right center field. Chris Singleton.
You know, and also what that'll do, Hawk, is create some deception to the hitter, too. When you close up a little bit more, it's not as easy to pick up that ball off the delivery from a hitting standpoint. So there's a lot of advantages into doing what you just said.
Here's the right fielder, Darren Bragg, out of Georgia Tech. Hitting at .274, 4 homers. He's driven in 22. Takes first pitch strike. Bragg's had good success against Navarro. Faced him 15 times. He has 7 hits. Boy, for most pitchers, that landing spot is absolutely critical. Fouls that one back.
Yeah, it really is, because if you get out there too far, your arm is going to drag. You won't have good command of your fastball. Plus, you won't have any breaking ball at all because you can't stay on top.
Right there, as you can see where he was landing before. Looked like he closed that one up just a hair more. Leo Rodriguez up with it. Throws him out. But the 3-run homer by Big Mac, Mark McGwire. And we'll go to the second, tied at 3. The 30th homer of the season by Mark McGwire has tied this ball game up at 3. And another play out there at first base, and also a play that could have been made at second. Did not help Jimmy Navarro out. Watch Renteria right here. This ball's chopped to the second base side. Now, Rodriguez can't get it. He can't get back to the bag. If he was there, they could have got it, but still he recovers, and it appears he got him. Brian Gorman, the first base umpire, said no, he's safe. So a couple of mistakes on that play, one by Leo Rodriguez and the other by Brian Gorman. And here's Rodriguez to lead it off. 3 for 22 on the season with a homer. First ball fastball hunting high into center field. J.D. Drew. Oh, one pitch, one out. And here's Navarro. In his career, 144 ABs. Checks it up, fouls it off.
And those gutsy ball guys, once again, refraining from using the gloves. How did they do that? Or why did they do that?
I don't know. He took one right there for the club.
He's nuts. Literally.
That's inside. 1-1 to count. One and two. Sox will conclude the series tomorrow night. James Baldwin against Kent Bottenfield, who really has had a terrific. There's a good swing by Navarro. Had a terrific first half for the Cardinals. And then leave after the game tomorrow night. 3-game series at County Stadium in Milwaukee, opening up Sunday afternoon. You don't see that very often at all. There's a breaking pitch. He's gone. That's out number 2.
First strikeout for Acevedo, who has not been punching out a whole lot of folks this season. 2 outs, and the White Sox baseball cards will be given out by Lemon Chill. That's Sunday, July 25th at 1:05. The Blue Jays are in town. The first 20,000 fans will get them. For tickets, call 312-831-1SOX.
Here's Ray Durham. Ray let it off on the first pitch. This creamed a double down to the right field corner. Fakes the bunt, takes the ball. Ray now 2 for 3 lifetime against Juan Acevedo. Tatis, couple of steps in on the grass at third as that pitch up high, and it's 2-0. Other interleague play shows Atlanta at New York against the Yankees. That game tied at 2 after 3. Mets at Tampa Bay, Florida, Toronto. D-backs take on the Rangers down in Texas. That's up high, ball 4. So the 2-out walk. Durham with 14 stolen bases. And here comes Chris Singleton. After Ray had doubled and went to third on a wild pitch, Chris knocked him in with a ground ball to second base. Other action shows Montreal at Baltimore, Philadelphia at Boston. Mariners hosting the Padres, Los Angeles at Anaheim, San Francisco at Oakland. Houston at home against the Tigers, Colorado at Cincinnati. Doubleheader in Milwaukee with the Royals. Cleveland at Pittsburgh, and Minnesota lost today to the Cubs. There's a shot off. McGwire. So the throw to first. Oh, man.
My goodness.
What in the world? That'll do it. They're 2 for 2 tonight. And we'll go to the bottom of the second, tied at 3. Three tie, bottom of the second. Brian Gorman at first. You want to see another horrible call by the first base umpire? He's already missed one in the ball game. Watch this one. Ball shot off the body right there, McGwire. Now watch Singleton. He's got the bag. He's 2 for 2 tonight. 2 brutal calls right there by Brian Gorman.
I mean, it's incredible.
And then he threw out Brian Little. Paul Nauert last night, a call that cost the Sox the ball game in the bottom of the 9th, and then he threw out Frank Thomas. Well, you're talking about some brutality.
I tell you what, we have seen some absolutely horrible umpiring at first base in the first 2 games of this series. There's no other way of looking at it. These two guys
brutal.
are just horrible.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, he hit both plays right in front of him.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
You can't miss every call.
They're trying. Here's Castillo. There's a shot base hit in right field. And then on the other side of that page is, we mentioned earlier, Jerry Crawford last night, the home plate umpire, called one of the best games we've seen called all year.
Yeah, he was terrific.
I mean, he was magnificent behind the plate. But there's one thing about it, Wimpy, they don't want any accountability.
Yeah, apparently not. That's wow. Can't be graded.
That's terrible. That's absolute brutal.
Horrible.
I mean, you have to play right in front of you. 40,000 plus here. You can drag anybody out of the seats, and they're going to call that safe.
Yeah, that's right. And the other guy out in the first inning.
David Howard. Man. A couple of good articles in the USA Today.
Yes.
Rod Beaton and Hal Bodley on what's going on in that situation. Well, they certainly don't help their cause at all when they get out there and just absolutely blow calls that everybody in the ballpark can see.
Well, you know what? We have seen some bad calls on the bases.
There's a base hit by Howard. Castillo into third, so nobody out, and runners at the corners.
Well, Jamie's got to hunker down right here. He's got the pitcher at the plate. Now, Rene Latchman having a meeting with them. Now, you see a lot of times in the National League, they'll have that pitcher bunting in this situation, trying to get that runner from first to second. Try and get 2 guys in the scoring position for the leadoff man, J.D. Drew.
Acevedo has been to the plate 18 times this year. He has 1 hit. He has 2 sacrifice bunts. There's a good fastball. Acevedo now once again checks down with Rene Latchman at third. That's unbelievable. That's absolutely unbelievable. There's a bunt. It's going foul. So they count 0-2.
Now, I would imagine Acevedo will be bunting again right here.
I know one thing, that Rick Croushore, he had some great hacks. That at bat he had last night, and he scored the winning run.
Yeah, he was terrific. There's no question about it. Great hustle on the base paths, too, to score all the way from first base on that error. So he's bunting again. Good pitch on the inside corner. So Acevedo goes down. Big strikeout right here, so the Sox can get out of this inning if Jamie Navarro can induce a ground ball here.
J.D. Drew. He ripped a single right back through the middle and scored last inning. Frank, foul ball. Made the play, stepped on the bag, but it was in foul territory, so the count 0-1 to Drew. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Sox. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. If you're just tuning in, 2-run homer by Ordonez after an RBI ground out by Singleton. Sox put 3 on the board in the first, and a 3-run homer by McGwire in the bottom of the first. Took something off right there, changed up on him, and the count 0-2.
Drew missed a couple of high changeups yesterday. And it was kind of surprising, too, because they looked like they were great pitches to hit.
Out of Valdosta, Georgia. Fouls that fastball back. So he follows that 84-mile-an-hour changeup with a 93-mile-an-hour heater. That's high into right center field. Singleton can throw. Here comes the runner. Here's the throw. Not in time as Castillo will score, and the Cardinals take a 4-3 lead.
Well, Castillo's a catcher. I thought Singleton was going to give it a little bit better chance to throw him out right here. Currently, Chris didn't get all of that ball, didn't get everything into his throw. That was a bit offline. He does have that powerful throwing arm. And it's up the first base side, so there's no chance.
Here's Edgar Renteria. Had an infield single that Ryan Gorman called him safe when he was out. And then he scored ahead of McGwire's 3-run homer. Now there when Jamie dropped down a little bit, that was more like the slot and the landing area that he was using when he first changed him. Watch this. Watch how he'll land a little close right there, a little shorter.
Yes.
When he gets out there, when he overstrides, and just all it takes is 3 or 4 inches, he's going to straighten his fastball out and probably leave it up. It's hard to stay on top when you're overstriding a couple inches. The 0-2. Like that motion as well. Cardinals on top. The pitch a little bit low, and the count 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
Well, this inning got off to a bad start. You know, you got Alberto Castillo leading off. He's a 196 career hitter. Now, David Howard hitting below 200 also. Those 2 guys get hits, and that really set the stage for the Cardinals to take the lead in this ball game. Kind of hoping for that easy 1-2-3 inning.
Ray Durham's got it. He'll just take it right to the bag, and that'll retire the side. But the Cardinals come up with a tiebreaker on a couple of hits. No errors, leave 1. We'll go to the third. 4-3 bad guys. Four-three Cardinals here in the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Thomas, Ordonez, and Lee. As Juan Acevedo gave up a single, a couple of doubles, and a 2-run homer in the 1st inning. That's one reason it's such a big play that Gorman blew last inning. You're going to have Big Frank at the plate with 2 guys on.
Absolutely. Well, potential for a big inning because Acevedo really isn't fooling a whole lot of people up there.
As we mentioned, Gorman threw out Ryan Little, so Ryan Joshua has moved into first base. Coaching box. Frank ripped a single into right. Takes a slow curveball, strike one. Another off-speed pitch. Frank hitting at 324 as he stands up to that plate. High into left center field. Ray Lankford, he's there. One gone. It'll bring up Maggs. You got a high breaking pitch from Juan Acevedo back in the first inning, and if you're just tuning in, poof. He didn't miss it. Maggs now with 19 homers and 70 knocked in.
Throw that one again.
He just missed that one a little bit quick. J.D. Drew, and very quickly 2 out. And right now with 2 gone, let's check out our Aflac trivia question this evening. Who holds the record for most career All-Star game home runs?
Bad Henry.
Guy that wore your number?
Yeah. Something like that.
Here's Carlos. Fouled out to Fernando Tatis. Boy, he gets a hit on that fastball and just absolutely. Hope everybody's all right. That ball was scalded. Breaking ball hit hard right at J.D. Drew. He's there, reaches up and makes the catch. So 1-2-3 inning for Juan Acevedo. After 2.5, he leads it by 1. For the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, it'll be McGwire, Lankford, and Tatis to face Jamie Navarro. 4-5-0 for St. Louis, 3-4-0 for the Sox in the second of this 3-game set. Cardinals took the opener last night 3-2 in 13 innings. In a gift-wrapped game just handed to them. There you see that sign, number 62, where he hit his 62nd homer. Just a line shot right over that left field fence. First time up, he just bunted one out of here. Boy, look at the flash balls all over the stadium on the pitch. He just hit a little fly ball. Normal pop-up for most mortals, but for him, his 30th homer. And once again, those flash bulbs. That's great. Meanwhile, Jamie's got himself a 2-0 count. Well, the way they measure home runs today is 3-0. Mark McGwire does not have the longest home run recorded at Busch Stadium this year. It's his teammate, J.D. Drew.
Right.
That's hard to believe. There's strike one. I believe Drew's got one measured at 474, McGwire at 473.
I'll bet he tops it before the year's out.
You do.
Yeah.
Out of play, full count. There's Drew. One of the most publicized signings of recent years, maybe in history of baseball.
Maybe, yeah.
Phillies signed him, held out. Only the Cardinals picked him up. Started off with a tremendous bang last year. Now that's ball 4, so the dreaded leadoff walk. We mentioned all the flash bulbs.
every time a pitch is thrown to McGwire. And they're coming from all over the stadium. So here's Langford. He struck out swinging. Frank playing behind McGwire. There's that pitch up high. Langford, the all-time Busch Stadium home run leader. For the Cardinals, he is at 93.
Well, he's been a good player here for a long time. Always been a base-stealing threat. He's not stealing many bases this year.
The ball hit high into center field. Chris Singleton. So 1 out. And as Fernando Tatis strolls to the plate, let's check out our Aflac trivia question and answer. Who holds the record for the most career All-Star home runs?
Wow.
The man.
I can't believe I didn't get that. Stosh.
Number 6, Stan Musial. There's the other numbers. Red Shane D, Zenas Slaughter, Kenny Boyer, number 14, Ozzie Smith, number 1. Dizzy Dean, number 17, Lou Brock, number 20, Jackie Robinson, Bob Gibson, and of course Gussie Busch. 0-1 the count to Tatis. Flat out to Singleton his first trip.
Yes.
Can I check it up? So Jamie on top, nothing in 2. A good pickup for the Cardinals. Firing Tatis from the Rangers. As there's a breaking ball down low. Couple of big, strong.
Oh, man.
That pitch foul, backing out of play. Well, Frank's got to find his long ball stroke.
Yes,
McGwire right now, 35 years of age. McGwire hitting the ball greater distances than he's ever hit it. And Frank, well, just doesn't have the same bat speed that he has had. Last year he didn't have it. Well, that's something you can get back, because I think it's just a mechanical thing, as that pitch almost hits him.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, he's got to get to the point where he's making contact out front a little bit more.
Well, this spring he had good bat speed. Looked like he'd gotten it back from 1998, and all of a sudden started off pretty good, especially in spring training. And then as the season started, not a whole bunch. And lately, last month or so, as that's hit foul down past Latchman. So the count 2-2. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
On with the Whimperoo, Big Bob the Duke Meister, Tom Paciori, Ken Harrelson from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, second of a 3-game series. As the count goes full. But Frank's had an awful lot of good pitches to hit. He had some good pitches to hit last night.
Yes. Well, he's had good 2-0 pitches and 3-1 pitches that he's taking, and then swinging at pitches that are not strikes. Not a whole lot of rhythm there.
Here goes the runner. Rodriguez over to Durham.
Yes.
Sack him up. 6-4-3. And that'll retire the side. So he pitches over the leadoff walk. And we'll go to the 4th, trailing by 1. Well, you're going to see a few of those jerseys around this town. I mean, right down in front of us, there must be 30 or 40 of them. And hundreds, maybe thousands throughout this stadium. Cardinals averaging 40,000, 613. He took batting practice tonight. He did not take batting practice last evening. That was a big disappointment for everybody, including us. Tonight, he went over that scoreboard out there in left center field into the upper deck. There it is. Right up there where you see those 9 World Championship seasons that the Cardinals have attained in their history. That one in 67. Well, they got us in that one 7 games.
Well, there's good argument that they should have won the one in 85 too in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Call at first base.
Rick Fordyce. Rick doubled with 2 out in the first inning. Cardinals were leading 3-1 in that series. George Brett and the Royals came back and got him.
Yeah.
2-0 the count to Brook. Now, when you talk about the Cardinals, you talk about, as we were discussing last evening, Lippy, you're talking about some of the rich tradition in all of baseball. That ball hit into center field. J.D. Drew got a good jump.
Wow.
Well, the youngster out of Valdosta, Georgia, hauls it in for out number 1. He got a real good jump. That ball was hit hard.
That ball was scalded in the gap. I thought it had extra bases written all over it. Great concentration right there. See, he ran to the spot and then picked his glove up right at the last. Great job out there by the Cardinal center fielder. But you're right, Hawk. From the very beginning of baseball, you know, the Cardinals have been, you know, top notch. They've always been a first-class organization. Well, actually, since I've known them under the Gussie Busch regime, always a top-notch organization, always competitive. You know, just and a great baseball city, of course, since here in St. Louis.
I think in this century, when they really came into the prominence was with the Gas House Gang.
Yeah.
And since that time, they have absolutely been a force. There's a little duck snort into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. So Craig Wilson. Ball went about 20 feet on the outfield grass. He'll take it.
Darn right. Fordyce hits a rocket out there by 385 in the gap in left center. Forget it. That's a hang with him. There's no justice. Ow. Renteria with great range at shortstop. He almost got there. Yeah, the Gas. They were tough guys, weren't they, the Gas House Gang?
Oh, yeah. Played hard.
How'd they get that name?
Liu Rodriguez flied to center field, chasing first ball fastball. He's seen 2 pitches, and he's going to fly out twice. You know, Pepper Martin and all those guys, I'll tell you what, they had some fun out there on that field. And then along came number 6, Stan the Man. They've had some great players here in St. Louis. Dizzy Dean, Red Shane Dees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right there, number 45.
Yeah, he was real good.
Here's Jamie, struck out his first at bat.
I'll tell you, that Willie McGee's been a big part of this Cardinal tradition, too.
He certainly has.
Oh, there's Willie. Still a tough out.
One and 1 the count to Jamie Navarro. Outfield swung well around to the right. Ball pops out of the glove of Castillo. Not far enough for Craig Wilson to advance.
Say that Castillo can throw. He showed us last night. He gunned down 2 base stealers, and he's gunned down actually 54% of base thieves this year.
The guy, we understand, who's catching tomorrow night, Eli Marrero, throws better than he does.
Oh.
We got 2 good arms behind that plate as there's a chopper. That's just foul.
There's Eli Marrero.
Talking with Tony La Russa prior to the ball game, he said he throws as well as anybody, arm strength wise.
No kidding. Is he up there with Ivan?
Well, Ivan's got, a great arm, but he's got the quickest feet you ever want to see. And Ivan also is one of the most accurate throwers you ever want to see. So you combine the arm strength with the quickness and the accuracy. Not too many guys are going to be up there with Ivan Rodriguez. But Tony said that guy right there has got a guy. Here's the 2-2. Jamie having some decent hacks up there.
I'll tell you, those pitchers in the National League, if they can swing the bat a little bit, that's why Maddox, one of the reasons why he's so productive. He'll win a couple games with his bat, and of course his fielding is really good. Same thing with Tom Glavine.
Getting ready to say he's got a chance to win himself 1 or 2 games throughout the course of the season with his bat, and 2 or 3 with his glove. Jamie grounds out to the right side. Howard throws him out, and that'll do it. Nothing across. There was a hit. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 4-3 St. Louis. Not too many empty seats here in St. Louis tonight. Were there last night, nor will there be tomorrow night. As you mentioned, Cardinals averaging 40,613. And of course, a huge part of that is because of the great baseball city that it is and the great attraction they have in Mark McGwire. Jamie Navarro taking his warm-up tosses while he does. We got some email, Wimpy.
Great.
I love email.
Me too.
This from Dan and Karen Lamoureux from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Says, Dear Hawk, how much longer do you think it will be before Jerry Manuel starts calling up to the press box before he turns in his lineup card to find out who Wimpy's pick to click is so he can make a last-minute substitution?
Hey, that's real funny.
Dan and Karen, I agree with you, and I'm going to bring this attention to the attention of Jerry Manuel.
Hey.
Wimpy is Duke Schneider.
I'm just going through a little bit of a hard time right now.
Here it is, July 16th, and he still has not hit the board. As the first pitch, Darren Bragg, breaking ball taken down low.
Do you know how hard that is to do?
It's almost impossible.
Yeah,
Wimpy, you found a way to do it. Fouls that pitch back. Here's one from Brenton Toby from LaPorte, Indiana. Says, just wanted to relay how impressed we were with the conduct and consideration shown to all the fans who showed up at the Sports Authority in Burbank by Maglia Ordonez.
How about it?
Said he didn't get to meet everyone. As there's a little chopper. Jamie's got to hurry. And he gets him. Bragg not a speed merchant, but he does have decent pace down the line. Nice play by Navarro.
Well, Jamie, see, long arms it right here, and that'll make the play closer. He did just get him by a half a step. So a good call there by Brian Gorman.
So here's Castillo. He's single leading off the second inning. Getting back to Brenton Toby from LaPorte, Indiana, said that Mags was just very courteous to all. And they were really impressed with Maglia Ordonez. And I'll tell you, Brenton Toby, with reason to be so, Mags is a wonderful young man.
Yes, he is. And great things are happening to good people right there.
2-0 the count.
You know, think about it is, though, Hawk, there's a lot of great young men on our ball club, though.
Yeah.
Good.
We're very fortunate.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
There's a good strike. There's another one right there.
Man.
You got some terrific young players. And I'll tell you one thing, as bad as that call was last night by Paul Nauert, so far he has been really impressive behind the plate this evening.
He's been real good.
Yeah, through 3.5 innings. I think, Paul, what happened to him last night, he just had a brain cramp, that's all. He just had a brain cramp, got confused. Frank made the scoop. He saw the ball hit the dirt, and he called him safe because the ball hit the dirt. That just doesn't happen. There's a strike. Meanwhile, that brain cramp cost the Sox the ball game.
Yeah. We didn't get a hit for the last 5 innings, though, but still, it should have been over 9.
Ball hit hard. Durham is there, sucks it up.
And group outings at Comiskey Park are for groups of 20 or more fans. Groups receive excellent discounts and personalized service from the White Sox sales representative. For details, call 312-674-1000 and join us, the Levy brothers, the Bertucci boys, and all the rest. You'll have a great time.
Well, there's some good eating out of Comiskey Park.
Oh, yeah.
Here's David Howard. He had a base hit his first trip. David, 32 years old now. Of course, David. Son of Bruce Howard. That's into left field. Carlos, he's there. Carlos making some nice plays since moving from third to the outfield. He's coming along very nicely. That's the 1-2-3 inning for Jamie. First one of this ball game for him. We'll go to the fifth. He trails it 4-3.
There's a couple of good ones right there. Maglio Ordonez, the White Sox All-Star. And then, of course, Big Mac. Mark McGwire with that big 3-run homer in the first inning that tied the ball game for the Cardinals. And then they scored again in the second on the sacrifice fly by J.D. Drew to take the lead. So it's 4-3. Bad guys. Sox coming to the plate here in the top of the fifth inning. They will send the top of the order. It'll be Ray Durham, Chris Singleton, Frank Thomas, and many, many more, hopefully.
Ray is 1 for 1, a double, a run scored, and a walk. Juan Acevedo, 29-year-old right-hander, 6'2", 230 pounds. Getting set. Ray fakes the bunt. Tatis several steps in on the grass at third. And we mentioned the Cubs scored 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning, come back to defeat Minnesota 11-10 at Wrigley. That pitch fouled out of play. Hunter Allen, Coomer, Rodriguez, Gaetti, Blauser, and Sosa. Sammy hit number 34. All went deep in that ball game. Minnesota scored 3 in the top of the 9th, and the Cubs came right back with 3 in the bottom of the 9th. Renneria giving chase, but it's out of play left side. Milwaukee shut out Kansas City in game 1 of that doubleheader. 2-0.
Wow. You don't see that very often at County Stadium.
No score after 1.5 in game 2. Moving to the inside. The ball hit deep into right. Way back. He's defense. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes! Solo shot by Ray Durham, and this game is tied at 4.
Woo! Boy, Ray has really turned on a couple of inside fastballs by Acevedo. That was 93 miles an hour. That's his 10th homer, 39th RBI of the season. Ray 2 for 2. Watch how short and quick he is. Boy, I'll tell you, that's not a bad pitch. He hit the target. Watch Ray, bang. Boy, not a whole lot of movement right there. He got those hands very quickly through the zone, and that one is out of here.
So a 4-4 tie as Chris Singleton 0 for 2, but he has an RBI. Also, Mark Grace homered in that game at Wrigley Field. I would say the wind was probably blowing out a little bit today, Duke.
I would think so. Yeah, pop-ups are homers at Wrigley Field. It's the most unbelievable place I've ever seen to hit when the wind is blowing out.
And one of the toughest when it's blowing in.
Yes.
Once again, Tatis in on the grass at third. He plays just about as short for most guys as any third baseman in this league.
You know, it's interesting, too, Hawk, when you talk about Wrigley Field, the majority of the time the wind is blowing in, though.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've never played there, but
yeah.
As I mentioned earlier in one of our telecasts, Crosstown Classic 1 year, there was a strike. The wind was cold. The wind was blowing in. I did not see one ball leave the park in batting practice.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And when it's blowing out, it's hitting those buildings across the street.
High off the plate. So that's ball 4. Second walk issued by Acevedo. So Singleton 9 for 10 in stolen bases. He was thrown out last night for the first time by Alberto Castillo. And here's Big Frank. Frank, a single, a run scored, then he is flied to left. Decent lead by Singleton. Fastball strike on the outside half.
There he is, your favorite name.
Heathcliff Slocum. I love that name.
You really do. Well, he's fallen on some hard times. Just reactivated today. He's got a 2.8 earned run average in that Cardinal uniform, though.
That curveball high. That evens the count at 1. Boy, Pittsburgh jumping all over Cleveland. They're leading 10-2, bottom of the 6th inning at Three Rivers.
You think it's enough?
Not yet. Not yet.
Best comeback team in many, many years. The Indians of '99.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I mean, it is never over till it's over.
It really is. Now feels slightly to the right. They're spread out a bit. Frank can't get that one. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. So he's down 1-2. 4-6-0 for the Sox, 4-5-0 for the Cardinals. Baltimore leading Montreal 5-1 after 5.5 at Camden Yards. Philadelphia 5, Boston 3. 7th inning stretch at Fenway. Fouls that pitch back. Pretty good pitch right there to hit. Frank trying to get that little movement, that little muscle memory, or that hand going down, the lead hand. But when that left side goes up, Frank is so, at this point, this year and last year, so left side dominated, it's gone to an extreme.
Yes.
When his left side goes up, his right side collapses, and he is gone.
That is for sure.
Every now and then, you know, he'll fool you. Walk up there, he's had 3 batted bats, and somebody be throwing him 93, 94, and he'll keep that backside up, get out in front of the fastball, and hammer it someplace.
Yeah. Well, remember in his early days, if you made a mistake on Frank, it was a point or 2.
There, he keeps that one. Up, Singleton. He's going to be held now at third on the double by Big Frank. So the Sox with nobody out. And that's just what we were talking about. He'll have some bad swings all of a sudden. You try to light him up inside. He keeps the backside up and hammers it.
Well, we have seen Frank jam himself on a lot of these pitches. They want the pitch away, and it was not bad on the inside corner by Acevedo. But Frank, as you mentioned, he was short and quick because of that fact. He was able to keep the backside up, front side down, whatever you want to call it, and he got some tremendous action with those hands. Good top hand as he smoked it into that corner.
Well, with him, most of the time, and you're right, Wimpy, by putting it in that manner. When you're talking about backside up or front side down, what happens is a lot of guys, they will force their front side up with their backside. And a lot of guys will just turn the left side out of there, bailing, so to speak. Left side going, the head going with it. And that's just as bad as the other. But when Frank does keep his backside up at that point, then he stays on top and he can use his top hand.
Oh, yeah.
When his backside collapses, he cannot use his top hand. Look at the top hand right there. Look at the extension through the ball.
Tremendous. Wow. Don't forget how you did that one, Frank.
So here's Maggs, a 2-run homer, and he's flying to center.
Oh, great situation here for the Sox to pick up 2 more.
A little situational spot for Maggs. Move it to the right side. You got McGwire even with the bag, but you got David Howard back, as is Renteria. Mag's trying to do it, but is fouled out of play.
Well, the one thing that has improved dramatically this year has been the situational hitting. I mean, even if they don't accomplish it, it looks like that's what they're trying to do. And Jerry Manuel certainly has stressed the little things in his tenure as Sox manager. And it just looks real good.
Now Mags has got to hunker down. 0-2 the count. Well, you never want to be 0-2, but still, a lot of times when a guy gets 0-2, 1-2 in this situation, at that point, in that defensive posture, he is a little more prone to go to the right side. Just out of protecting the plate.
Well, and his natural swing, too. And he can do that inside out very well. Short, compact swing, very little stride.
Lays off the breaking ball. Carlos Lee on deck. We talked in the first inning about Acevedo having a real good arm, which he does. But he doesn't have that off-speed pitch that he can get over with consistency. In fact, he's hung several of them tonight already. Hung that one to Mags earlier for the 2-run homer.
Ooh.
As there's another breaking ball. That was a good effort by Acevedo.
Certainly one of his better ones of the night.
And a good job by Mags of laying off of it. Outfield just about straight up, spread out. Gets out in front of that high fastball.
Well, there's not much else he was going to do with that one. That was a pretty good pitch. That was boring in on his hands. Mags in that protect mode. That was a good pitch by Acevedo, and a better job by Mags to fight it off and get himself another chance to do something.
Ooh. High heater, and he got a piece of it. Now Mags is almost the reverse of what we were talking about Frank. Every now and then Mags will go through 2 or 3 games where he'll collapse his backside. And the reason he does it is because of his left side pulling out. But with Frank, it's just the opposite. Frank will force, because of his backside, force his left side out.
Yeah.
Mags has a terrific top end. As does Chris Singleton.
Hello.
That's into right center field. Nobody's going to get this one. That's a gapper. He gets the job done.
Wow.
Here comes Singleton. Here comes the big hurt on the ground rule double.
Man, that is so good.
That's a good at bat. That 1-2 breaking ball that he laid off of. That was a big pitch in that sequence.
He is something special. One of the reasons why he's an all-star. Fights to get this 2-2 count. The fastball, a good pitch for him to hit and do what he does best, and that is hit those gaps. Oh, man, he stays on top of this bad boy and just ropes it right at the gap. Doink into the seats. Mags with 4 RBIs in this ball game. Sox take the lead 6-4, and Tony La Russa is out to the mound.
So Juan Acevedo, with that good fastball, still has trouble getting an off-speed pitch over. He'll depart, and we'll be back.
Magglio Ordonez. Wow, is he fun to watch. He now has 72 runs batted in on the season, 19 homers, and he is just something very, very special with that batting average up around 335 right now. Boy, hitting in that cleanup spot is no problem for the youngster from Venezuela. He got a fastball, and watch this. Watch him stay on top of this. No stride at all, and just using those quick hands That really enables you to use that top hand better. Boy, I'll tell you, it's amazing how strong you can be without striding. Plus, that head will stay perfectly still. And if you make contact out front and you're strong like Mags, you got a chance to really do some damage. So a big hit as the Sox take the lead 6-4. And the new pitcher for St. Louis is the much-traveled Heathcliff Slocum. And his numbers on the year, 2-0, 6.20 earned run average. He has pitched well for the Cardinals, though. 320 is what they're hitting off him. Wow. He still can punch you out, though. Heathcliff has been kind of a mystery.
He's been an enigma. He has had good stuff throughout a long period of time that he has been getting ripped. It's just amazing. I mean, you sit up here and you watch this guy go out there. He's had some good outings against us.
Yeah.
In that period of time that he was getting hit hard. As Carlo steps in, Mags at second, nobody out. As there's a strike. Sox with 3 runs across here so far in the top of the 5th inning. Carlos trying to move it to the right side, and again, that's what Wimpy was referring to. Especially with a young club, when you get in situations like this, a man in second, nobody out. Even though you're leading by 2 here in the top of the 5th, you still got to try to get him over. And that's what Jerry Manuel's been trying to take the I in me out of the vocabulary and the thinking, the thought process of all these players, especially this youngest team in baseball. Good things happen when you think about team. He tries to go that way once again, pops it up. Joe McGwire is back there, makes the catch.
Well, there is no I in team, but there is in me. I wonder who made that famous saying up. I'll tell you, remember we used to sit up here and just watch, and you know, even for years. I mean, with the veteran teams, they couldn't execute.
Well, what was so bad about it a lot of times too is with the veteran teams, they didn't even try to execute.
Yeah.
Didn't even try. That's what breaks your heart. But Fordyce takes ball 1. Well, Slocum, in talking to a lot of baseball people, said that Heathcliff, certainly when he was in that Boston uniform and when he was in that Mariner uniform, he was 2-0-3-1 to almost all the hitters. There's a good breaking pitch. Now, he's got a good arm, but he doesn't have that good arm.
No. Well, you go to Cooperstown and you look up all the pitchers, and very few of the guys there were pitching from those counts.
Good eye, and the count, 2 balls and a strike. Outfield just about straight away. Brook was not trying to get Mags over. He was just trying to hit the ball that way. That's when he is hitting best. Hitting line shots into right, center.
And he's got big power that way, too.
Well, not too many guys today don't have good power that way.
Well, that's
the
true.
opposite field.
Seems like Brooks got more power that way than he does to the pull area, though. Ow.
There's a good pitch by Slocum, and a good job by Brook to fight it off. 6-8-0 for the Sox, 4-5-0 for the Cardinals. Just tuning in, Sox with 3 in the first, Cardinals 3 in the first. Cardinals took the lead with 1 in the second. Sox now with 3 so far as he gets him on the inside corner. Looked like a good pitch from up here. We are over towards the first base side, not directly behind home plate, as in most venues. And right now, let's check out our upcoming games brought to you by Chewable Pepsi AC. Tomorrow night finale of this 3-game set. We'll have it for you right here over WGN. And then it's off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's right, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. County Stadium in Milwaukee. And Tuesday will be over WGN. That's down low to Craig Wilson. And the count 1-1. Certainly our condolences go out to the families of those 3 men who were killed in that tragic accident. The crane fell at the new ballpark in Milwaukee. Of course, Brewers canceled that game yesterday. Have a doubleheader tonight with Kansas City. As that's a fair ball right side. McGwire has time. Slocum right where he should be. And that'll do it. For the solo homer by Durham. A 2-run double by Ordonez. We are halfway home at 6-4 good guys.
On tonight's Discover Card Platinum Payback Playback. It was a night of comebacks on July 16th, 1992. Lance Johnson's single tied the game at 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. In the 10th, Frank Thomas drove in Tim Raines to even the score at 4. And in the bottom of the 12th, George Bell singled to left, scored Tim Raines again, and the White Sox defeated the Brewers 5-4.
So Jamie Navarro out on that mound taking his warm-up tosses. Sox with 3 in the first, 3 in the 5th. Lead at 6-4. For the Cardinals, it'll be McGwire. Then back to the top of the order in Drew and Renteria.
And while we have a moment, Ticketmaster and American Express would like to send you and a friend to White Sox Spring Training 2000 in sunny Tucson, Arizona. Use your American Express card to purchase Sox tickets, and you'll be automatically entered to win a trip to spring training or other great prizes courtesy of American Express. No purchase is necessary. For details and tickets, call Ticketmaster.com on the internet or call 312-831-1SOX.
That's a nice trip right there. Tucson.
Yeah.
Star Pass. Peter and Chris Ansley, Richard Payne, Max Suzuki, and all the great people out there. As first pitch to Joe McGwire, taken for a strike. McGwire hitting .302, 4 homers. He's driven in 30. Outfield around to the right. Shot base hit. Well, McGwire just reached out, gets a count, 2-1 his favor. Drills it into left center field for the leadoff single.
Well, McGwire coming in on that double switch with the pitcher. So that'll keep Heathcliff Slocum in the ball game. But here's that momentum inning that we talk about so often. Once the team reestablishes or claims the lead with a big inning, you shut down the opposition in the other half, their hitting half. Generally speaking, you win the ball game.
Drew, a line shot single and a run scored in the first, a sacrifice fly in the second. McGwire 5 for 9 in stolen bases. Can't fall behind. He fell behind McGwire 2-1. He's 2-0 to Drew. Fouled off Brooke Fordyce. So it's 2-1. Taking some other scores for you at Yankee Stadium. After 5.5, Atlanta leading New York 6-5. Mets leading Tampa Bay 7-6 after 6 down at Tropicana Field. Going into the 9th inning, 4-2 Fighting Fish leading Toronto at Skydome. Arizona, Texas, no score after 3. High pop-up left side. Carlos Lee coming in. The U going back. Rodriguez is there, makes the catch. That is out number 1. So 1 down to Edgar Renteria. Nine to 1, Baltimore leading Montreal. That's the bottom of the 7th at Oriole Park. Bottom of the 8th at Fenway. It's still Philadelphia 5, Red Sox 3. Jams him right there, pops him up. Durham going back, Singleton coming on, being called off by Ordonez, and that's out number 2. And here he comes. McGwire, a 3-run homer in the 1st inning, a walk in the 3rd. He now has 30 long ones and 76 driven in. Boy, he sets those shoulders early and never moves them. He probably has the most definitive pre-swing setup of any hitter in baseball. He has got a terrific routine.
Yes. He gets ready very late.
Gets jammed right there. Good pitch by Navarro. Singleton. He's there. And that'll do it. So Jamie gives up the leadoff single. Gets Drew, Renteria, and McGwire. We'll go to the 6th. He leads it 6-4. Right now, let's check out our forward snapshot. If you're just tuning in, the 3 home runs in this ball game here in the 1st inning. A hanger from Acevedo, Max Ordonez. And that made it a 3-0 ball game. Bottom of the 1st inning, 2 on. Mark McGwire, his 30th. Just a high towering drive. And then leading off the 5th inning, Ray Durham cranks out his 10th. Just a line shot over the head of Darren Bragg. So Liu Rodriguez at the plate with a 1-0 count as that fastball evens it at 1. Rodriguez 0 for 2. He's flied to center. He's flied to right. Little switch hitter. Chops this one. McEwing.
One gone, and it's Kids Day, Sunday, July 25th at 1:05 at Comiskey Park. Sox play the Blue Jays, and all fans 14 and under can get pregame autographs. Postgame, they can run the bases. There'll be face painters, petting zoo, clowns, and more. Kids tickets are just $1 if purchased at the box office on the day of the game. Kids Day. Woohoo! Weather permitting.
So here's Jamie. First pitch strike. That's up high. Good eye for Cheney, and the count 2-1. Durham on deck. Just pokes this one into center field. J.D. Drew is there. Makes the catch. Good at bat right there for Navarro. And there's 2 gone.
Tell you what, J.D. Drew gets a good jump on the ball.
Got some more email here, Wimpy.
Yeah.
From Roger Stodahar. A great White Sox fan, watches all the games over WGN, says, please settle an argument. I recall that when Jack McDowell was with the Sox, that he was adept at faking a pickoff play to throw to third base and picking the runner off at first. My recollection is that he accomplished this feat at least 3 times. I also recall he picked off a runner at third base. So he did that several times.
Yes,
Roger. So you were right if you're on the right side of that argument. And of course, if you want to email us, here it is. Email SoxTV@interaccess.com.
Well, he did that a lot of times, picking the runner off first, but he's the only guy I've ever seen pick a guy off a third. He and Robin
times.
Twice, yeah.
Mookie Wilson, and the other one?
The other one was the big guy from, he's with Cleveland now.
Switch hitter.
Yeah. Mark Whitten. He was with Toronto at the time.
There's the strike.
See, how come we can remember things like that? We can't remember what we did 5 minutes ago.
Let's face the ball, Wimpy. Ray is 2 for 2, a double, a homer, 2 runs scored, and a walk. Out in front of the off-speed pitch. So Ray hitting at 303 as he stands up to the dish. It's amazing how athletes' memories are. It really is. I mean, the everyday stuff a lot of them can't remember, including us, cannot remember. But yet, you put me in the right ballpark against the right pitcher. There's a shot. That's a base hit. So Durham is 3 for 3. Great speed aboard. But if you put a lot of guys, not just me, you put a lot of athletes, set the scene for him, put him in the ballpark, tell him who was pitching, and I'll be willing to bet you that he can almost recall pitch for pitch the sequence.
Yeah. I mean, 20, 30 years ago.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
Same way in golfers. They can tell you almost every hole of golf they've ever played, you know, on every round.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in competition. As Chris Singleton. Chris is 0 for 2, an RBI and a run scored. Oh, Chris really meant. Turns it over, misses the outside corner. Outfield just about straight up far. Christopher. Also been getting some email about these magnets.
Yes.
We've talked about several times, Wimpy. In fact, Chris Singleton was talking to me before the game. Wants to know if there's a chopper. We'll return with that after McGwire throws him out for out number 3. So here in the top of the 6-0 across, it's 6-4 good guys. That's the story here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Navarro gave up the 3-run homer to McGwire in the 1st inning. A run in the 2nd. Put 3 goose eggs up since that time. Taking his warm-up tosses. And he will face Langford, Tatis, and Bragg. And his last inning ended, we were talking about the magnets. There are so many guys and so many people going to those things now, and I, for one, can attest to it. As Wimpy, as we speak, is rubbing his leg with his mag boy up here. Johnny Bench is the one that got me onto him about a month ago, and it's been phenomenal. I mean, really has been phenomenal. And I think the name of the company is Nikken or N-I-K-K-E-N, Nikken. That's the one that I'm using and Wimpy's using, and they're just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing, and you can put a magnet on any part of your body directly on whatever part that it's hurting you, and it's almost guaranteed to relieve the pain.
Well, there's so many almost miracle stories about him. Remember our good buddy Bernie Nichols, you know, formerly of the Blackhawks, 17 years in the National Hockey League. Bernie sleeps with this magnet mattress pad as that pitch fouled out of play. And Bench is sleeping with one as well, and both tell me they're getting 4 or 5 hours of solid sleep a night, which is
kind of unusual, because for some guys that don't sleep a whole lot, it's amazing. And you know, and remember Bobby Valentine tore a hamstring muscle. That pitch fouled away by Langford. He tore a hamstring muscle, and that's usually a 2.5 months injury from skiing, and he was back doing everything in a couple of weeks. So it's amazing the healing process that takes place. And the only thing that we know about it is that more blood comes to the area.
Or more fluid.
Yeah.
The way JB told me.
Okay, fluid.
1-2 the count. John Brody, one of our guys on our CP tour. In fact, a lot of guys, 30 or 40% of them out there using those magnets and just absolutely swear by them.
Yeah. Well, when you consider.
That's in the hole. Durham can't quite get there. There's just a chopper right in the hole. So the leadoff single by Langford.
Boy, this infield is quick. It's almost like the artificial surface that they had here before. It is so fast, and with these balls souped up the way they are, they get through the hole in a hurry.
Well, Frank had no chance to get it, as Ray didn't, and you know what kind of range Ray has to his left, so that's just a bisector right there.
You know, you're talking about the guys that you mentioned, John Brody and Johnny Bench, have had careers where it's such a grind on every muscle in their body. And, you know, if football players attest to them and it's helping them, the everyday guy would really benefit from these things.
Well, the baseball players, it's just now really getting into baseball where tons of guys are using those magnets. You know, Bench has had so many operations and so many tough things happen to him in his career. He never goes anywhere without his mag, boy, what you have right there in your hand.
Right.
Here goes the runner. So the pitch is fouled down at the plate. And the count 1-1.
Well, Tony La Russa is not afraid to put a play on, that's for sure.
And it doesn't make any difference what the score is.
Right.
Tony, since he has come into this league, he's 21 years in the league now, has been one of the most creative offensive managers in the game. In fact, I saw Tony do something I hadn't seen too many managers do. Bases loaded. 3-0 the count on the hitter. He gave him the hit side.
Oh, my God. Who was he? King Kong? Uh-oh.
Stay in the ballpark. Get well. Carlos is back there right in front. As Langford tags, he'll go halfway down.
Ooh, good throw.
Oh, Carlos is coming along very nicely out there in left field. He just missed that one.
I thought it was gone. The way the ball's been flying, you just automatically assume a guy with power, he makes decent contact, it's going to go out of the ballpark.
Caught it towards the end of the bat.
Yeah.
Right out towards the end, thank goodness. About a half-inch further up towards the sweet meat, you could put it on the board.
Yeah, there's that good throw by Carlos Lee. Got himself in the good throwing position, moving forward.
Darren Bragg takes strike one. And once again, got to say that Paul Neward doing a heck of a job behind the plate tonight.
Yes, he is. I mean, no complaints.
No.
By either team. And he's calling the strike zone.
And as we mentioned earlier, Jerry Crawford last night was just excellent behind that dish.
Terrific.
Uh-oh. Fouls that one back in the count, 0-2. Now, what do you think about the umpiring situation after the last couple of days, Wimpy? I know you've been reading the papers and watching it on TV. What's your assessment?
Well,
I love it when you analyze.
Thank you very much. Well, it's tough for me to give any sympathy to the umpires based on the articles that have been written, where they want the commissioner's office, or they don't want the commissioner's office to have any charge over them. They apparently don't want to be held accountable for whatever happens or their job on the field. So with that, I certainly would have to disagree with the way they're approaching this whole thing. And really, I like what I've got great deal of respect for Sandy Alderson.
There's a ground ball. Durham off the heel of his glove. Everybody's going to be safe. Ray overran it just a hair, just enough to where he could not make the play.
Yeah, this one's got a chance to be a double play right here. Wow. Yeah, see, all of Ray's weight was going forward right there. No bend in those knees, so it's a little bit more difficult to pick up the ball. But that's pretty much, the way I feel about the umpiring situation. And you?
Well, I would hate to see all the umpires resign. I understand what the ploy they're using is, because we have some outstanding umpires in the game of baseball. But there are some who are not. Just like there are some players who don't belong in the big leagues. There are some doctors who don't belong to be practicing. Lawyers don't belong to be practicing. There are some umpires who do not belong in the big leagues. Why should they be any different than any other profession? That's the way it is.
Yeah.
And when there is no accountability and you're allowing guys who shouldn't be in the big leagues to still
go out there and umpire big league baseball games without any accountability whatsoever. That's wrong. I think Richie Phillips is wrong. But I would hate to see, I hope there's some solution they can come to so that the good umpires, and there are a lot of them out there, can remain in the game. Ooh. Alberto Castillo with a 2-1 count. 6-4 Sox here in the bottom of the 6th inning. I do think the timing was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I do think that Richie Phillips does not care about that. It was a wonderful all-star situation. Gets jammed right there, pops him up. Infield fly rule is called. Rodriguez makes the catch, and it is out number 2. But you mentioned the name. Richie Phillips has never run up against anybody like Sandy Alderson. Sandy Alderson is a fair man, but he is a strong man. And he is a smart man.
Oh, yeah.
Artie Contreras out to talk to.
Well, it just seems like Sandy has really found his niche in the commissioner's office. And you know, this is the type of job that he is best suited probably to do in baseball.
Well, he did a good job out at Oakland.
Oh, yeah, he did a terrific job out at Oakland. But I think, I don't know, the qualities that I think that he have is just, you know, more to the forefront of the entire body, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know. I've had a great deal of respect for him when he was a general manager, and certainly that hasn't deterred since he's taken over this present position.
Well, the one thing that the Umpires Union will not do is they will not intimidate Sandy Alderson.
No.
And I think they know that. Here's Thomas Howard hitting for Slocum. Switch hitter. There's a chopper to Hopper. Rodriguez bobbles the ball. Now has no play. Mercy. All with the one hand. If he goes down and he puts the other hand to take it out and cover it up and then take it out, so that'll be an error. Watch this. All with the one hand right here. All he's got to do is get the hand down earlier, cover the ball with it, take it out, make the play.
Wow. Yeah, it's so much easier to make that play. The hand and glove, you know, just come together so much easier.
So here's McEwing with 2 out, bases loaded. There's a shot. He'll make this play over to Durham. That ball was scalded by Joe McEwing. Meanwhile, Navarro pitches over it. And we'll go to the 7th. Sox by 2. Leo Rodriguez, who made what could have been a very big error in this ball game. And then Jamie Navarro pitching over that mistake. There you see him talking and then patting Liu on the attaboy, Jamie. He picked him up right there. That's what veteran pitchers are supposed to do. Pitch over mistakes, pick up their, especially young teammates in this case. We have seen so often this year, our starters have not been able to pitch over mistakes.
That's very true. As Manny Ibar, 24-year-old right-hander with some good numbers, he didn't fare very well yesterday. Pitched to a couple of guys, didn't get any outs, but he has given up just 60 hits and 67 and a third. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Sox, trying to get some insurance.
Well, the 24-year-old right-hander's first pitch. Chopper that is just foul down the third baseline. Frank is 2 for 3, a single, a double. He has scored a pair.
And the Coca-Cola Silver and Black Pack is a kids fan club for Sox fans ages 14 and under. Kids who join get free White Sox tickets and cool souvenirs. Plus, they can participate in an on-field parade. Membership just $15. Call 312-674-5367 for a Silver and Black Pack application.
Frank fouls that fastball out of play right side, and he's down in the count, 0-2. Last time up, he got a 1-2 fastball from Acevedo and ripped it down in that left field corner. So he mentioned at the time he kept his backside up
When he does, that top hand can come into play. He can extend through the pitch. Watch out.
Whoa.
Well, that was
That
close.
guy
right
caught
there.
the bat, it looked like.
Well, it carried him, but that was close. It was close because of the people right in front of him. That young girl right there and her father. It just missed that young lady right there. Wow, was that close.
Oh, boy. Well, you know, it's hot and humid here in St. Louis. Oh, boy, he throws that bat almost behind him. You don't see that very often.
46,909 in attendance. As Frank goes back, gets himself a new driver. And once again, the 0-2. They want it upstairs. Just off the corner. .61, 177 pounds out of Bonnie in the Dominican Republic is Ibar. That's into right field. That's a can of corn for it. Darren Bragg. And as usual, have a lot of Sox fans in attendance here in St. Louis. The Callaway family, Crown Point, Indiana, is here to root the Sox on to victory. William Callaway is the great nephew of former second baseman for the White Sox, Don Callaway. That pitch inside to Maggs. Maggs, a 2-run homer, a 2-run double, and a fly to center. Maggs now with 72 RBIs on the season to go along with those 19 long ones. He just misses this one. High and to left. Renteria going back. Just a little bit late. And you know, we were talking about the All-Star game last inning. I want to send out a big thank you to Michael Weissman, the producer of that show, along with Bill Webb, who directed it. Boy, they did a wonderful job in catching all the moments. That pregame festivity show was the best one I have ever seen.
Yeah, it's a great show.
It was fantastic.
Better than a game.
Carlos can't get that one. On the count 0-2. So Michael Weissman and Bill Webb, thank you. A job well done. Way out in front, hooks that one foul. I thought Joe Buck did a terrific job along with McCarver and Brindley as they laid out and let the cameras do the talking.
Yeah.
Little chopper up the middle. This could be trouble. Look at the play by Renteria. No, he can't get him. Boy, that is a great effort right there by Edgar. Moving as hard as he could to his left on the move. So that'll be a base hit. And he'll pick up an error. That's his 15th error of the season.
Boy, he's got tremendous range. Boy, this young man can play. He swings the bat. He covers a lot of ground. Look right here as he tries to cut this one off the out of the pass, and got a big bounce right there, but the off-balance throw really trying to pull across his body to make that good throw to McGwire. If Mark can't get there, then very few guys can.
So here's Fordyce. He's 1 for 3 out of double his first time up. It's a fastball up high. Ibar came on in the 8th inning last night, gave up a couple of singles, and he was lifted for the southpaw Lance Painter. Outfield straight up. And the count 2-0. 6-9-1 for the Sox, 4-8-1 for the Cardinals. Come on, Brooke. Big man out there. Big duck on that pond. Really men. Got a free swing right here if he wants it. And the count 3-0. Craig Wilson, the on-deck hitter. Final from, no, check that, 8th inning after 8 innings from Three Rivers, Pittsburgh leading Cleveland 11-3.
I think they got him.
That should be enough.
Yeah. 2-point conversions are tough.
That should be enough. That's up high, ball 4. That's the 3rd walk issued by Cardinal pitching in this game. Checking some other action for you. We mentioned the Cubs beat the Twinkies 11-10 at Wrigley. Minnesota with 3 in the top of the 9th, and the Cubs came right back with 3 of their own to win it. Milwaukee shut out Kansas City first of a doubleheader 2-0. They lead 7-2 after 4 in game 2. Final from Cincinnati. Rockies defeat the Reds 6-2. After 7 in Houston, Tigers and the Astros are tied at 1. There's a shot. Nobody's going to get this one. Craig Wilson going to knock home Carlos Lee. Fordyce will hold at second. And the Sox lead it 7-4 on a big clutch 2-out single by Craig Wilson.
Anyway, Craig, he's now 2 for 4 on the night. Gets his 10th RBI of the season. And getting that batting average up around 270 right now. It's a fastball down. He just, watch him get a little bit of bend with those knees. Keeps that upper body pretty much straight. Head down on contact, and it is in the gap. Big run.
Here's Liu Rodriguez. Come on, little Liu. He's 0 for 3. Fly to center, fly to right, and he grounded to second. Here's a base hit into right field. Here comes Fordyce. He is being waved around. Bragg comes up with it. He's going to go to third. Not in time, but they're going to get Rodriguez hung up at first base.
Go.
And they'll put the tag on him. But Fordyce scores. Sox come up with a couple. And we are at the 7th inning stretch. They lead it 8-4. So a big 2-out RBI single by Craig Wilson. Scored 1. Rodriguez knocked in another one, but then he was caught in the pickle, tagged out. As the Sox lead it 8-4.
Well, that whole inning started after 2 were out, as you mentioned. I'll tell you what, the Sox have done that a lot this year, coming up with those clutch 2-out RBIs. And heck,
That's been good, but the other side of that page has been bad. Is running themselves out of an inning.
That's very true. There have been 2 guys on base for the next guy, which was, of course, that was Jamie Navarro, but you'd have gotten Jamie's at bat out of the way even if he didn't do anything. But he's been pretty dangerous up there tonight.
He's been cutting and slashing.
Yeah.
Now he's got some pitching to do.
Yeah.
Top of the order, Drew, Renteria, and McGwire. JD is 1 for 2, a single, an RBI, and he has scored a run. I like that arm angle right there. He's getting down a little bit lower for the last 3 or 4 innings, Wimpy.
Yeah.
First couple of innings, he was up too high, which would cause him to open up too quick and land in that wrong spot. Now he's throwing across his body a little bit more. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike.
Well, Jerry Manuel said in our pregame show that he wasn't worried about the bullpen tonight because everybody was out there, but they weren't overworked with the possible exception of Sean Lowe. That pitch fouled out of play. So he felt like everybody was ready, but still, you want to get those 6-7 innings from your starting pitching. You don't want to put too much of an overload because that will have its residual effect
Watch the slot right here, the angle from Navarro. Watch now, watch where he lands. Now, the previous couple of pitches, he was even just a shade more closed than that. But when he does that and throws just across his body a slightest bit, he's going to get better movement. And with Jamie, he actually picks up a couple of miles an hour in velocity, which is unusual.
It is. Yeah, movement plus velocity. Well, that one game, what was it against Texas? Where he just
dominated those.
Oh, a good lineup. He was 94, 95 all night long with great movement.
Just off the corners. So the leadoff walk. Second base on balls issued by Navarro. And here comes Renteria.
Well, 95 pitches. Not a bunch.
Renteria, 1 for 3, had an infield single. He was called safe at first base, and he later scored. As there's a strike. Seamus. And the southpaw Brian Ward. Double-barreled activity for the Sox. There's the ball hit hard. Durham, right through the wickets. Didn't get his skirt down. Boy, there was double play written all over it. So the second error of this ball game for the Sox. Jamie now has really got some pitching to do. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Mercy.
Yeah, that should have been 2 out, nobody on. Boy, this is a quick infield when Renteria really smokes this ball. And Ray just doesn't get down, or got down real late. Well, the thing is, you got to have that glove on the ground and bring it up. If you have it up and to go down, it's such a slow process, and you just can't do it efficiently. It's like what had happened right there.
So a double switch is going to take place because of the miscue. Aaron Jackson to the left. Seamus coming on, and we'll be back. So Jamie pitched well. He gave up the 3-run homer to McGwire in the first. Gave up another run in the second. Shut him down since then. Should have been out of this inning right here. I should say he had 2 out, nobody on. But the error has caused a lot of problems. Aaron Jackson moves into left field for Carlos Lee, as we mentioned. There's DJ. And on the mound for Navarro is Billy Seamus.
Well, Billy's got a tough customer with McGwire coming up there, but he's been pitching well lately. 2-2, 3.96 ERA, 2 saves in 36 games. Opponents batting .252 against Billy this year. 37 hits in 38 2/3, 4 homers, 17 walks, 20 strikeouts, and the Sox now have made 84 errors. That is tops in the American League. Montreal has made 87, Pittsburgh 86 to lead all of baseball.
So here's McGwire. Just off the outside corner.
Well, McGwire coming into this ball game hitting .342 with runners in scoring position and hitting much higher against right-handed pitching, 100 points higher just about than lefties.
He's in good shape. He's 2-0. One of the great low ball hitters in the game of baseball. So Drew at third, Renteria at first. And if you know all the flashing in the background every time a pitch is thrown, those cameras go off. Really a neat thing to watch.
That's a heck of a tribute, isn't it? They ever do that when you were hitting?
No. Of course, they didn't have cameras back in those days.
That's true. You know, the guy with that big...
They had that big thing they held, you know.
They held and the smoke went off like dynamite.
Yeah.
There it is.
Those cameras go.
Wow.
Outfield straight up. There goes Renteria.
Well, I think he had that one.
Yeah. Well, he's got 19 of them in 23 attempts.
Now, he's their main base stealing threat this year, Renteria. He's a heck of a player.
8-4, Sox on top. Tony La Russa saw that Seamus was not paying any attention to him. He better pay attention to the hitter. As McGwire just does get a piece of it. So he's seen Seamus' slider. He's seen 3 of his fastballs.
Hadn't seen the splitter. You know, that's been a big pitch for Billy since he's been pitching well lately.
You want to go down low with McGwire. If you do, you better take a lot off of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's got to be a good one. Or you hang it. But Mark McGwire's always been a great hanging breaking ball hitter, too.
A little longer set now. Billy will let him know he's thinking about him. Take him right here. You don't want to go full. That ball hit deep in the center. Way back. Singleton at the fence. You can put it on the board. 3-run homer is second of the ball game by Mark McGwire, and it's an 8-7. Sox lead. Mercy. That's what Wimpy was talking about. He got a hanger.
Well, 31 homers now. 79 RBIs. 2 homers today with 6 RBIs. Oh, boy, that is a hanger. That was the splitter. Mentioned that he hadn't seen it, but, boy, I'll tell you, you get that thing about thigh high. See how he just goes down with his legs. His head stays perfectly still. And he just smokes it out of here. It is 8-7.
So that era has really jumped up and bit the Sox here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mercy. Brian Ward comes on, and we'll be back. Mark McGwire second, 3-run homer of the ball game as Brian Ward on to pitch to Ray Langford. Takes that one down low.
And Brian's numbers, 5.50 earned run average. Opponent's hitting .329. He's done a better job lately, though. 10 walks and 37 2/3. And he got a big out yesterday. Got Langford in a bases loaded situation last night. But right now he's 2-0.
Fouls that one off the hand of Paul Nauert. The count to Langford. So McGwire now with 31 homers, 79 knocked in, the 6 RBIs equal a career high.
And now he has done that thrice.
There's a brace of them, huh?
Yes. Uh-oh.
Tatis, the on-deck hitter, still nobody out. 3-1 pitch. There's a strike. 8-12-2 for the Sox. 7-9-1 for St. Louis. Notice they get all their celebrating done. Once he gets in that dugout, he goes and sits by himself, and nobody bothers him.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So what amounts to another leadoff walk. Take another look at the 2 pitches. The one previous to the home run, and then the homer itself. He just powers this ball out of there. That's just pure muscle. He did not hit that ball that well. In fact, he has not hit either one of his home runs that well tonight. He is just so strong. What a powerful man. For normal human beings, that's just a fly ball to center, as his first homer was just a fly ball to left. But with McGwire, you can put him on the board. So Ward will depart, and we'll be back to tell you about Keith Falk.
Keith Falk is a new Sox pitcher. 1-2 record, .298 earned run average, 3 saves to his credit. The opponents are batting just .211 against Keith in 34 appearances. 43 hits and 54 in the third. 7 homers, 13 walks, 60 strikeouts. So Keith, well, he's got his work cut out for him right now. Sox just clinging to a 1-run advantage with Fernando Tatis, a very dangerous hitter. He just missed one his last time up. So Keith, who worked an inning yesterday, walked 1 and struck out 2. He gave up no hits and no runs.
Tatis gone deep to center. 6-4-3 double play, and he's gone deep to left. Nando, 18 homers, 59 driven in. So Langford, who is 2 for 4 in stolen bases. A tying run at first, still nobody out. There he goes. It's fouled away, and the count 0-1. We talk about almost every ball game, Wimpy, the situation of the Sox being the young team, make a lot of mistakes. The only bad thing about that, certainly young teams are going to make a lot of physical and mental errors. The Sox have been making more physical errors than mental errors. And what it does is it makes it very, very difficult for these young pitchers to make the progress that they could be making.
Yeah, that's very true. I'll tell you what, when those errors crop up, got to get 4 or 5 outs in an inning. That pitch just misses.
Good pitch right there. Didn't get it in the count 1-1. Yeah, when these young pitchers get out there and they're trying to establish their own identity and trying to develop, trying to keep putting another brick in their foundation, and they're having to give up 4 and 5 outs an inning, that does not work. And what it does is instead of adding a brick, you take a half a brick away.
Come on.
This should be. Durham's going to take it himself.
Yes.
Back him up. 4-3 double play, 2 out. On the check swing, ground ball to the right side by Fernando Tatis.
Well, a little indecision by Ray Durham. He finally took the play himself. Could have flipped it to the shortstop. Would have been an easier play, actually. Liu's now got to get out of the way. But the thing right there, Tatis is on his heels on that check swing, and that's what really nailed him at first base in a bang-bang play.
Well, that's what Ray recognized. That's the reason he wanted to take a chance on a relay. He felt he had time. He did, and he just got it. Here's Bragg. He's 1 for 3. Yeah, giving a young pitching staff a situation where they got to give up 4 and 5 outs an inning, it really deters their development. We knew coming out of spring training, we felt at least coming out of spring training, the club was not going to be a good defensive ball club. But I'm a son of a gun. First part of the year, they started off a little shaky. Then after the first couple of weeks, they played great defense. What, a month and a half?
Oh, yeah.
And it looked like they might turn things around. In the last month or so, things have really gone sour defensively. Fouls that fastball back, and they'll count 1-2.
Yeah, that has the effect on the pitchers too, knowing they're thinking they've got to make a perfect pitch in order to get an out, because they are lacking in the confidence that they need to have in their defense to make plays behind them.
Well, the one thing that has really been, I think, overall a team surprise, not an individual player surprise, a team surprise, is they've been able to put some points on the board. Much better so than everybody thought coming out of spring training.
Absolutely. You kidding? Jeez.
And, of course, the main cog in that factor, in that reasoning, has been Mags Ordonez. Mags now with 72 RBIs. Go along with those 19 homers.
Oh, yeah. You know, in the emergence of Carlos Lee and Chris Singleton, this is a real good offensive team. I never expected this.
Me either. I don't think anybody did. The best thing you can do for your pitchers is not so much score runs for them, but just make the plays. Just catch the baseball.
Yeah.
Catch the baseball, make the plays, give the other team 3 outs an inning, and then guys can live with some bad performances.
Yeah, because you're not going to hit every game. The Cleveland Indians don't hit every game.
Yes. He's gone. He'll grab some bench. That'll retire the side. So a fine job by Keith Falk, but another 3-run homer by Mark McGwire. We'll go to the 8th as the Sox by 1. Top of the 8th inning, 8-12-2 for the Sox, 7-9-1 for the Cardinals. Mark McGwire, 2 3-run homers, knocking in 6 runs in this ball game. Also has walked. And Manny Ibar taking his warm-up tosses. While he does, let's check out our White Sox minor league report for you. Charlotte, they won yesterday at Columbus by a score of 7-6. Ben Van Ryn picked up the victory. Kevin Byrne, who has been pitching well down there, started the ball game. Mario Valdez 2 for 4. Jeff Lever went 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Chad Mottola leads that league in hitting at 338. Tied for 5th in RBIs, 64. Louis Raven leading that league in RBIs with 78. Birmingham won 4-2 at Mobile. Aaron Mayette started, went 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. Curtis Whitley, southpaw, picked up the victory. Winston-Salem won 4-0 at Wilmington. John Garland, coming over from the Cubs last year for Matt Karchner, went 9 innings, giving up no runs.
Good.
3 hits, 1 walk, had 6 strikeouts. So Garland, a 3-hit shutout. As a count 2-0 to Darren Jackson. Threw the fastball by him. At Winston-Salem, Aaron Rowan leads that league in hits, extra base hits, ranked 2nd in home runs with 16, slugging percentage at .530. Fouls off that pitch. That evens the count at 2. Burlington lost 11-7. Eric Battersby ranks 5th in the RBIs with 61 and home runs with 15. So Rowan and Battersby, a couple of names for you to remember out there. Juan Figueroa leads the league in strikeouts with 139. Bristol, they won yesterday. They're in first place, 9-1 at Pulaski. As the count goes full, Chad Durham leads that league in stolen bases. In 25 ball games, he has 22 stolen bases. And of course, Chad, the brother of Ray. Chris Delgado leads the league in home runs with 10. He had 5 in 2 days last week.
That's good.
Here's the payoff pitch. Chases ball 4. So the first strikeout for Manny Ibar, and here comes Ray Durham. Ray has walked, single, doubled, homered. So he has a chance if he can get a gapper right here, turn that blazing speed of his on to go for the cycle. Corners in close. Tatis several steps in on the grass. Outfield for the most part straight up as he looks at strike 1. Oh, he got some good players down in that system, with him.
Yeah.
Good young players. Kip Wells,
Yeah, and these guys aren't just good minor league players. They're going to be in the big leagues.
Josh Fogg pitching well. That ball hit into the gap.
Come on.
J.D. Drew will cut it off as Durham makes a big turn. So the one-out single. Durham is 4 for 4. And here comes Chris Singleton. Here was the guy who was the 4th player in Sox history to hit for the cycle. This against Kansas City. Just the 4th player in Sox history.
That's
so
great.
Chris tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk and an RBI.
And only 225 guys in the history of baseball as compared to 240 no-hitters.
That's amazing. I love it when you analyze.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fastball high off the plate. More no-hitters than cycles in the big leagues.
Who would have thunk that?
Not me. You could have busted me on that one.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I thought that ball Durham hit right there was going to be in the gap, but J.D. Drew has done a real good job in center field, cutting balls off, making some real good plays out there.
I was talking with Mike Martin, the Florida State coach, about J.D. Drew. Said he really reads well in the outfield. And we've seen that. Fouls that pitch away, does Chris.
Yeah, he doesn't possess blinding speed, but you don't have to in order to be a good outfielder.
You got to use your eyes and also your ears. That's one reason I think Junior's the best I've ever seen out there. I think he uses his ears just as much as anything. He hears the sound of the bat. He knows how well it's hit.
Boy, he's got some great instincts, doesn't he?
Got some great ears, doesn't he?
There's Lance Painter.
Well, Willie Mays was a pretty good center fielder. He said he used his ears as much as anything else because you got to listen for the crack or the thud or just how well that ball's hit.
Or the clunk in some cases.
Yeah. For the duck snorts. There goes Durham. He can throw, and this time a little too high, so Ray picks up his 15th stolen base. He got a good jump right there.
Yes, he did. And Castillo came out of the chute really quick. Well, I'll tell you what, this guy can throw. And you got to get a good jump to steal on this guy, and Ray looks up to see if the ball's put into play. See the throw a little bit off. And that's a tough pitch to throw on, too. Fastball inside to a left-handed hitter.
Well, you know, Ray, after that error, wants to have a little atonement. So the 2-1 pitch to Chris.
Ooh.
Down and in. That's a pitch he has been laying off. He swung at 2 of them in this at-bat. Now we talk about some guys having to lay off a high fastball. That's a pitch that Chris has got to lay off from the right-hander. Breaking ball down and in. And it's tough to do.
Oh, yes.
Tough to lay off a high fastball because you see it so well, and it's tough for the left-hander to lay off that breaking ball coming down and in from the right-hander. There's a base hit. Ray had to pause momentarily. Now they're going to wave him around. Here's the throw. It's a good throw, but the ball bounces up and by Castillo. So Singleton moves into third. That'll be an RBI for Chris, and it's a 9-7 ball game. Cardinals got a bad break right there. Sox got a good break as that was a good throw from Darren Bragg.
Yeah, they were going to have a good chance of nailing even the speedy Ray Durham right here. Ray had to hold up for just a second. It was a great job of hitting by Singleton. Boy, he threw that top hand on that high inside fastball and smokes it in the right field. Now Bragg charges very nicely and makes a good accurate throw. Castillo is poised to put it on him, but look at that bad bounce he got. Wow. So Singleton all the way to third. So Frank Thomas with a great RBI chance, and the Sox now have a 2-run lead.
Ray coming up with a little atonement. A redeemer.
How about Singleton? He's got 2 strikes on him. He gets the inside fastball, still pulls the ball, doing everything right. He just can't do anything wrong.
We talked about him earlier. He's got a terrific top hand. Now the Cardinals bring the infield in. Frank 2 for 4, a single, a double, and he scored a pair. Good pitch to hit underneath it.
Well, how about
Backside collapses.
Yeah, it did. And how about this, Hawk? You know, remember, first part of the year, Frank was going to be issued a free pass right here. Not so with Ordonez coming up next.
No, that stuff's over.
Oh, yeah, that's done. Mags has made his mark on this league.
Ooh, nips the outside corner with that heater. Good fastball by Manny Ibar, little guy, run that one up there at 94 miles an hour. Outfield around the right. Frank's got a hunker down. The 0-2 pitch. Down low. 9-14-2 for the Sox. 7-9-2 for the Cardinals.
This is another big run out there because the Cardinals aren't afraid to score runs in the later part of the ball game. Plus, McGwire's going to get one more at bat.
Nice play right there by Alberto Castillo.
And
2-2.
And another thing, they've got Willie McGee sitting on the bench, an excellent pinch hitter, and Sean Dunston, who's having a terrific year. There's Willie.
Full count. So Frank was down 0-2. First two pitches were fastballs. He swung and fouled one back. Then he nailed the outside corner with another one. So we'll see if he tries to trick him right here. Here it comes.
Right there.
And he nails the inside part of the plate. So a big strikeout for Manny Ibar.
Well, they wanted it inside. He got it there. That is a good part of the plate.
He just filled that mid up.
Yeah, right at the belt, too.
So here's Mags. Mags 2 for 4 now. They're just going to go ahead and put him on. Mags a 2-run homer in the first, a 2-run double in the fifth. As we mentioned, 19 long ones. He has driven in 72. And regardless of what happens right here, this is a good move by Tony La Russa.
Oh, yeah. Well, because you got the pitcher coming up, and it's Keith Folk is going to hit. Konerko was in the on-deck circle, but Keith is going to make his appearance. This ought to be good.
Well, one thing about Keith, never seen him hit the game, but I guarantee you he can battle it.
I have never seen him swing the bat, period. So this ought to be interesting.
Yeah, they had Konerko out there and didn't back down La Russa at all. So Folk, one reason being nobody up in the pen. So
Yeah.
really hard decision to make on Tony's part.
It wasn't a real tough deke.
No.
Oh,
Outfield short, swung around to the right. That a boy, Keith. Good eye, big man. Keith is 2 out. You don't know the signs anyway. Just get in here and go to Hackett if you see something white.
Well, I'm sure they went over the signs, and everybody had to be there prior to this series. He sets up good at the plate.
Yeah, he does. Tell you what. I mean, 6 golf balls to 1, and I'll bet you gets a hit.
All right, you're on. What kind you like, the red stripes or the green ones? Black.
The ones without all the smiles in them.
Oh.
The ones that, you know, you normally play with.
X-outs? Quadruple X-outs?
I don't want those. Come on, Keith. Pick him up. While it's going through his sequence of signs. So Maggs at first. There he goes. And good swing by Folk into center field. He put a good pass on it. Meanwhile, the Sox do pick up another run, but they blow a chance to pick up the second one this inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. They lead it by 2. Right now, let's check out our Toyota game summary. 9-14-2 for the Sox, 7-9-2 for St. Louis. Ordonez, a 2-run homer, 2-run double. McGwire, pointed 87th, 88th career home runs. He has knocked in 6 as we get set to go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Sox by 2. And if you're scoring along with us at home, we've seen some bad calls in the first 2 games of this series. Here's another one coming your way. They're going to give the error last inning to the catcher, Alberto Castillo, instead of Darren Bragg. A failure to block.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
anyway, Willie McGee.
Well, you'd have to be Dominic Hasek to block that one. And before Willie steps in, it's Chicago Tribune Family Half Price Night Monday. And that is July 26th at 7:05. The Blue Jays are in town. All fans get in for half the regular ticket price. Call 312-831-1 Sox for Chicago Tribune Family Half Price Monday.
First pitch, McGee hit deep into right center field. Maggs, he's tracking. On the track, hauls it in. 1 pitch, 1 out. Caught it a little towards the end of the bat.
There's a deal you can't beat, Hawkeroo. Half price night. You got to show up for that.
That's your favorite. No, that's your second favorite day.
Free night would be my best.
Free night would be your first choice. 2 things my partner never turns down: mulligans and free food.
Whoa.
Eli Marrero takes first pitch strike. Outfield straight up. Off the end of the bat, Ray. Plenty of time.
Oh, Ray really looked that one into his glove right there.
So 2 out.
Well, Ray's had some pretty difficult hops. I'll tell you what, this infield is really fast, but he is down there getting dirty with it. Looking that ball glove right into his glove and making the play.
So here's Joe McEwing. Takes that pitch up high. McEwing been to the plate twice. He is 1 for 2. Check that. 9-14-2 for the Sox. 7-9-2 for St. Louis. There's a strike. Chased a high fastball, could not get on top. And Keith with a 1-2 count. There's Drew on deck. Well, it's one of those situations here for a while now. You just better keep everybody off the base pass. Shanks that one right off the hosel. And if you're just joining us, Sox with 3 in the first, 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. Cardinals with 3 in the first, 1 in the 2nd, and 3 in the 7th. Take him right here. Ball hit to the third baseman. Wilson up with it. Nice peg in time. And a 1-2-3 inning for Keith Folk. We will go to the ninth. It's good guys on top. Top of the ninth inning as you check out and peruse our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape. Sox by 2. And a couple of changes for the Cardinals moving in behind the plate. For Alberto Castillo is Eli Marrero. And on the mound for Manny Ibar, the southpaw Lance Painter. Big Bob.
Lance Painter pitched well last night. Got out of a jam. 1-4 on the season, a .585 earned run average. But they're hitting .306 against him in 26 appearances. 48 hits allowed in 40 innings. That's a bunch. 5 homers allowed. He has walked 17 while striking out 30. Well, let's get another insurance runner, maybe even 2 here.
I love it when you analyze.
Because Big Mac is coming up third next inning.
Brooke Fordyce will lead it off. Brooke, a double, line to center, struck out, walked, and he has scored once.
Ever notice in this town how many guys are dyeing their beards red?
First pitch strike. No, I haven't.
I have.
Noticed the guy's beards too often.
How about Mr. Lucky
Women?
behind us, Ross? I've seen a bunch of guys with red beards in this town now.
Do you like red beards, Wimpy?
Yes.
0-2 the count. You want me to grow a beard, Wimpy?
Please.
It'll definitely turn red. Just off the corner. Outfield playing Brooke straight up. Atlanta with 4 runs in the top of the ninth inning beat the Yankees 10-7.
Wow.
Pitch outside and
Well,
high.
Well, the Yanks just don't have that magic this year, do they?
It's hard to get what they had last year.
Right.
Pick up 125 wins and sustain it for year 2.
Yeah.
I don't want. They still got a hell of a ball club.
Oh, yeah.
Off the end of the bat to the shortstop, Renteria. So 1 out. Mets. Bobby Valentine beat Tampa Bay 9-7 down to Tropicana Field. Fish beat the Blue Jays 4-2 at Skydome. Arizona and Texas tied at 7. Rangers were leading 7-2. D-backs with 5 runs in the top of the 7th inning. Craig Wilson 2 for 4 in RBI, a big RBI coming with 2 out. That was in the 7th. 9-4 Baltimore beats Montreal at Camden Yards. 5-4 Philadelphia over the Red Sox at Fenway. There's a bunt. That's a good one. That's a real good one. So Wilson 3 for 5.
No way, Craig. With an RBI, getting that average up around 370 now. Hey, Craig Wilson just does a lot of things to help you win ball games. There's a terrific bunt right there. He sees Tatis way back. Painter's the only one with a chance, and when he goes after it with his glove hand, you can forget it.
Well, according to Jerry Manuel, he's going to get a chance to play now.
Yeah. Well, he's waited a long time. He didn't get any opportunities hardly in the first couple months of the season.
So here's Little Liu Rodriguez. 1 for 4 with an RBI. Takes a breaking ball down low.
And the thing that's great about Craig Wilson is he can play third, short, second. Now, you know, he's gotten some big hits. That Boston series, boy, he was terrific.
Checking some other scores for you. Houston with a run in the 9th inning beat the Tigers 2-1. Rockies over the Reds 6-2 at Synergy Field. That's foul right side. 11-3. The Pirates hurt the Indians at Three Rivers. And the Cubs with a dramatic comeback. They were leading most of the way. Minnesota scored 3 in the top of the 9th. They came right back with 3 in the bottom of the 9th to win it 11-10. Ton of home runs, including Sammy's 34th. One out. And the outfield swung well around to the right. James Baldwin against Kent Battenfield tomorrow night in the finale of this 3-game set.
Crazy man just entered the room.
Had to be Shannon.
It was Mike Shannon. He just woke me up. You know that?
And we'll have that game for you right here with WGN Sports tomorrow night at 7. Baldwin against Battenfield. JB's got to start getting himself together.
Absolutely. Boy, he had that encouraging start against the Royals where he just dominated them. 8 great innings of work. And his last 2 outings have not been good.
There goes the runner. Oh, it's into center field. Eli Marrero is Craig. Slips down going around second. Boy, they had him cold turkey right there. Greg's not a speed merchant. But Eli in this league, they slide. They don't fly.
Good point. Yeah. Craig looked like he was looking for somebody to bail him out right there.
He was trying to find a foxhole or something.
That's right. Hit and run was on. Go, boy, this one really gets away. Not even close by Marrero. You talked about his strong throwing arm. And J.D. Drew was right on top of that play to back him up. So even though Wilson stumbled a bit around second base, he really didn't have a chance to go to third because of J.D. Drew and hustle in center.
Good rip by Rodriguez on the 2-2 fastball. Mike Shannon, one of the broadcasters now for the Cardinals, third baseman. Mike was a good player.
Well, he was in that
Had a good
World
restaurant here
Series.
in St. Louis.
Yes. Ate there yesterday.
I went over there the day before. Had a nice steak. Good steak. Mike Shannon's just a block and a half from the ballpark.
Yeah. And there he is with the great Jack Buck.
Yeah.
Jack's been here, what,
54 years?
I think he started in 54. Didn't we say that?
45.
45 years. One of the great voices of baseball.
Full count to Liu Rodriguez. Pick him up, little Liu. Up high, ball 4. So with 1 out, Sox with 2 aboard, and here comes Darren Jackson. DJ struck out last inning. Now the outfield. Cardinal outfield really plays almost everybody, for the most part, straight away. There's a little looper in the right. Darren Bragg now coming on, makes the catch. And that's out number 2.
Well,
So Ray Durham is going to be the next hitter. He is 4 for 4. 2 singles, a double, a homer, a walk. He has scored 3 times, picked up a stolen base. And he's going to have one more pop at that try for the cycle. But more importantly, just knock somebody in.
yeah, and Ray hitting at .313 from the right side of the plate. Now when Singleton hit for the cycle, he got 5 hits. Boy, Chris drove in a big run last inning.
He's doing a lot of big runs, that young man.
Oh,
Singleton now 43 RBIs on the season. After being inserted into that starting lineup late. Breaking ball low. I'll tell you what, in this ballpark, where they're playing right now, it would be very, very difficult for Ray Durham to pick up a triple.
Yeah.
Got decent speed in Langford, Drew, and Bragg. Bragg and Drew can throw. Langford's not bad. He was trying to leave the premises right there, and that evens the count at 1. But if you're just tuning in, 2 3-run homers by Mark McGwire. Numbers 30 and 31. You know, Wimpy, I was thinking a while ago, I was just trying to think of any other sport, if there was an athlete in their respective sports with the power of Mark McGwire, and I can't think of any of them. I can't think. In golf, of course, you go with Tiger and John Daly.
Yeah.
But they're not in the same league as far as power goes.
Exactly.
Proportionally speaking, the distance, as he chases a bad one right there. Well, Durham's got to hunker down 1 and 2. That's a powerful, powerful man. As I said, Mickey Mantle, Frank Howard, those guys could propel the baseball tremendous distances. Willie McCovey, Willie Stargell. Tremendous distance, but not like Mark McGwire. Two on, 2 out.
Man. Well, the Sox with those 15 hits tonight, coming in at 282 batting average as a team. That's good. Probably raised it a point. Get down.
That's into center field. J.D. Drew coming on. He's there. Makes the catch easily. And that'll retire the side. Sox threaten, cannot score. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. They lead it 9-7. Bobby Howry comes on for Keith Falk, who did a fine job once again. Keith working 2 innings, giving up nothing, had 1 strikeout, gives way to the hard-throwing right-hander. And Bobby Howry trying to nail it down, Wimpy.
Yes, sir. Well, Bobby came in last night, and he was the victim of that bad call at first base. They scored, so he worked that 1 inning, and he gave up the 1 run. So on the season, he's 2-1, a 3.82 earned run average, 13 saves. 233 is what the league is hitting against him in 36 appearances. So Bobby, with 31 hits allowed and 35 1/3, has given up 3 long ones, 21 walks, and 48 strikeouts. But it's not going to be easy. They've got the top of the order. J.D. Drew, Edgar Renteria, and Big Mac, Mark McGwire, the 3rd up hitter this inning.
So it would behoove Bobby to get Drew and to get Renteria. J.D. 1 for 2, a sacrifice fly, a walk. He's knocked in 1 and scored 2, so he's had a good evening. Outfield straight up. First pitch high off the plate. And a reminder that Lemon Chill will make a donation. Chicago White Sox charities. Each time a White Sox pitcher records a save, Lemon Chill is available at your local grocer and also Comiskey Park. It's Lemon Chill all season long.
It's good.
Two and 0 the count. Bobby came on last night, walked the leadoff hitter. In the bottom of the 9th inning, Langford. And he eventually scored on that blown call at first, which cost the Sox the ball game. Meanwhile, it was still a leadoff walk. They crossed home plate. Come on, Bobby. There's a strike and the count 2-1. Pitch right here. Cannot get it. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Bobby's righty will run it up here at 95, 96. I got to see if he can hit another. My best fastball about letter higher right now. 2 strikes. He'll probably be swinging at it.
Fouled away, and Saturday, July 24th at 6:05, it's Lifesavers Bubble Yum Blowout. Blue Jays are in town, and all kids 18 and under can enter a bubble blowing contest. Biggest bubble will win. One lucky kid can win 2 tickets to a 1999 World Series game. Contest starts in the center field concourse when the gates open at 4:30. That's popped up, thank you.
Left side, Craig Wilson making the call and has the ball. Big out. So 1 down, and a reminder, tonight's game has been produced by John Walgren, directed by Fillmore Skip Ellison. Our associate producer is Joe Grube, and the executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwall. So here's Renteria. Edgar 1 for 4. Couple of runs scored. Sox trying to even up this series at a game apiece. As there's strike 1. Little slider from Howry. As we mentioned, 46,909 in attendance this evening. That's on the outside corner. And the count, 0-2. Big Mac on deck. Pitchers of record in this game, if you're just tuning into the starters, Navarro and Acevedo. 1-2. Jamie pitched well tonight, gave up that 3-run homer. And the first should have been a 2-run homer. Won't call it first right there. That's up high, 2-2. Well around to the right, gap in left center. Don't go full, Bobby. Make it easier on yourself right here. High slider. Bobby upset with himself right there. He knew he hung it. Shot, base hit. So that'll put the tying run at the plate as Darren Jackson falls down. Here's the throw at second. Not in time. That run doesn't mean anything anyway. This maybe takes the double play out of order right here. Man walking up to the plate is the tying run. Mark McGwire.
Boy, that didn't look like that bad of a pitch. You talk about a tight fastball, 94 miles an hour inside. And then Renteria, who looked vulnerable on that pitch, just turned on it and ripped it in the left field. That was more inner half of the plate, but boy, I'll tell you, that's still a good job of hitting.
So Nardi Contreras out to talk to Howry. Well, if you notice over the years, Bobby Howry's got a real good arm. But if you notice over the years, all your real good closers, they come in and get you on 3 pitches, maybe 4. They just come right at you.
Yeah.
Bobby still has got to get to that point where his location is fine enough to where he can come right after him and get him out of there. So they don't see as many fastballs or as many sliders off of him, because it certainly makes it a lot easier if they've seen 5 or 6 pitches. Meanwhile, here's McGwire, 2 for 3, 2 3-run homers. Takes that fastball upstairs. McGwire is 30th homer in the first inning, his 31st in the 7th. He now has 79 driven in.
Ooh.
Langford on deck. Well, I liked where he missed with the first 2. You got to make McGwire beat you upstairs. Boy, from the belt down, he is
a monster. That's off the corner. As he takes strike one. I would think from the belt down, McGwire probably dominates more destructively than any hitter I've ever seen.
Maybe.
Belt down.
Yeah.
A little tapper out in front of the mound. Howard's got time. Over to Big Frank. And that is out number 2.
It was like Big Mac just pulled off of that pitch, hit it right off the end of the bat. Big out right there, but still Ray Langford to contend with. Langford hitting at .318 as he stands at the plate.
Look at the location right here. Above the belt. He has to adjust his swing a little bit, has to reroute his swing for a pitch that's up. When a pitch is down, he does not reroute at all. He just has a direct line. He goes to it, and he just powers it. So here's Langford. Well, he's 1 for 3. Takes ball 1. Fernando Tatis, the on-deck hitter. It's 2-0. Outfield very deep, as we mentioned. Renteria's run at third is meaningless. You got to get the hitter, Bobby. Goes through that one. 95 miles an hour. Seven White Sox here with 2 out, bottom of the 9th inning. There's a strike, and that evens the count at 2. And once again, home plate umpire Paul Newark has had an outstanding game behind this plate this night, as Jerry Crawford did last evening.
He has been real consistent, just calling the strikes and the balls. He's been terrific.
Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, base hit. He speeded his bat up a little bit on the breaking pitch. And it's a 9-8 ball game.
He's going to throw that slider. He's got to really bust it. That run just kind of rolled over the middle of the plate. And Langford in that protect mode just waited back very nicely, recognized it obviously immediately, and bangs it into left field for his 38th RBI of the season.
Tatis. 0 for 4. But he has 18 homers. Pops it up. Stay in here.
Come on.
Good Fordyce. Getting rid of the mask back, and he will run out of room. It's in the 2nd row.
Langford too. He's got 227 career stolen bases.
He has a decent lead. Long set. And the count evens at 1. Well, the outfield, so it's over their head. It's out of here. That's where they should be. Play deep, cut across. As that pitch up high, and the count 2-1. There's a strike. That was a good pitch to hit right there, and Tatis could not pull a trigger. So 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Look at this one.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a hanging slider on the inside corner. There goes the runner. He's gone. He'll grab some bench, and this ball game is over. So Bobby Howry comes on, picks up the save, his 14th of the season, as the Sox indeed even up the series at a game apiece. They won it 9-8, and Wimpy, a lot of good things in this ball game tonight. Jamie Navarro pitched well, Keith Folk, and Bobby Howry nails it down.
Yeah, that's right, too. And how about the 15-hit attack to compensate for those 2 3-run homers by Mark McGwire? So McGwire couldn't do it in the end, and the Sox were able to prevail. The defense was a bit shaky. The Sox made 3 errors. The Cardinals made 2, as compared to last night, where the pitching and defense was excellent.
And right now, let's check out our Miller Genuine Draft play of the game. This coming in the 5th inning. Couple of guys on, and Mags Ordonez at the plate. Wimpy had already hit a 2-run homer.
And he really battled in this count. Got a 2-2 fastball out over the plate from Acevedo, and he rips it into the gap, driving in 2. So Mags with a great night. He had 4 RBIs on the evening. And it was just a real good, solid offensive performance tonight by the Sox.
And an exciting ball game. And once again, the final totals on game 2 of this 3-game set. For the Sox, 9 runs, 15 hits, 3 errors. They left 10. For the Cardinals, 8 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. They left 6. Navarro, the winner, 7-7. Acevedo takes the loss. He is 4-4, and Howry is 14th save.